That's a good time to hit the live button.
I probably should ask you if you were ready, and then I yawned in the middle of that.
That doesn't matter.
I'm a
But
professional.
I will admit that I have the George Foreman going right now, and I'm cooking lemon pepper chicken for all you jealous bastards out there. So
I am hungry. I almost went up and got food, and I actually have this calculation in my brain about how hungry I am versus how much it's going to hurt to go up the stairs.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's actually very fair for you. I don't know why
I'm
you haven't installed a dumbwaiter yet.
Well, I have like my mini fridge down here and stuff. I need to get I haven't refilled it recently.
Oh,
I have
you
a
should do that.
microwave and a mini fridge, and I should take advantage of that. But
Yeah.
I'm also fat, so it's not a big deal. You know,
It is because you're fat, so you're hungry, and you
if I
want to maintain your padding.
if I miss a meal or two, it's actually probably a good thing. Anyway, guys, this is Monkey in the Morning. I am Monkey. He is Jack. How you doing tonight, Jack?
I'm all right. Hi, everybody. I'm doing pretty good overall. Few minor complaints, usual shit. Otherwise, I'm doing pretty solid. How about yourself? Feel better?
My voice is a little off for two reasons. My sinuses are going crazy because the weather. It
Yeah.
was 82 days ago, and it's like freezing right now. But I was also over with Scribe for all 7 hours of his stream, so my voice is a little worked today. So I thought, what a great day to do a reaction video because those are always short.
This one's on you, man.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. And in fairness, it's Yeet's fault over on Twitter because Yeet put out a tweet from Miss Shoe0nHead who said she wants the genocide to stop for two reasons. One, because genocide is horrible, and two, so lefties won't have anything to hide behind when they get criticized, which is funny as fuck.
Accurate, too.
And I went to look up the original tweet that she did instead of the screenshot, and I saw she had a new video, which I haven't watched because YouTube, as I was bored out of my mind, like, what should I watch, was giving me true crime shit instead of, a creator I literally have watched everything they've done.
Yeah, why would they want you to watch that? Here's some random strangers you've never heard of that are now your new favorite things.
Now, in fairness, one of the ones that I did watch yesterday was about the murder of this family, and two jackass kids did it. They were 18 at the time, and in Washington, it's a very interesting case. It's one of those cases where the one kid thinks he's like he literally says that he's one of the smartest people on the planet.
Yeah. That always means if you have to tell people you're smart, you're not smart.
He was the actual killer in the case. The case is what the fuck what's his name? Sebastian starts with a B. Banks, maybe? Burns. Sebastian Burns and Atif Rafay. And they kill Atif's parents and sister.
No, it's like the vampire murders with Rod Ferrell.
Yeah. So Atif watches the whole thing while his friend nakedly beats his family to death with a baseball bat.
That's fucked up.
Yeah. They get found guilty. And you know how they're allowed to give a statement after they've been found guilty and everything?
Mm-hmm.
He gets up and gives a 2-hour speech.
What are you, William Henry Harrison? Jesus.
About why the jury was wrong and how the evidence was wrong and how they didn't get a fair trial. But it's okay. Every time he's like criticizing the judge, like, we didn't get a fair trial, he goes, no offense intended, with utmost respect. Like, you just told the judge he gave you an unfair trial and you said it with respect. But don't worry, the Innocence Project, or one of those Innocence Projects, is on the case for these two little shitbags.
Oh, of course.
Because the police were mean to them. Yeah, because actually they got them in kind of a fucked up way. So they killed these people in Washington State, but then they immediately fled to Canada. And the Canadians, the Royal Mounted Police, they did a sting operation and got these two to believe that they were working for the mob and to confess to it. And then they were like, no, I lied to the mob because I was afraid they'd hurt me. Oh, it's a great.
Right.
Yeah. These two little shitbags are definitely probably guilty. And I just hit the arrogance. I've known people like that, and all I want to do is harm them in ways I'm not allowed to say on YouTube. They're like, and I'm the smartest person ever. Like, you're probably not. You're probably kind of stupid at 18.
Plus, they got caught.
Yeah. And what they did, Jack, is they went to the movies, so they had an alibi. And then they snuck out of the movies. And it comes out at trial that this kid, he once ran into a light pole, and he takes all of the damaged pieces of the car off the ground, drives them to another parking lot, sets up this elaborate thing where it looks like somebody else did it. And his cover story was that he was at the movies. Oh, fuck. I hate stupid people. Anyway, guys, let's talk about some stuff on the internet before we get to our video tonight. I think I want to start with the video you were talking about, Jack, the one you weren't sure if we could show.
Oh, okay.
And look, there's some music in the background, and we might get hit for it, but I think it's worth it in this case.
RGB Smart Implant. Discover the perfect harmony of technology and aesthetics. Step into a glowing future that's uniquely yours. And the best part, you're in complete control. You said...
Yep, that's right. Light up titties, ladies and gentlemen.
This is the cyber future I signed up for.
I mean, if you were a woman and you were getting breast implants, look, it's clearly to get more attention, right? Why not get the ones that light up? Now, is this a real product? Do we know, is this a real product?
I think it is.
I hope it is. I hope that, yeah, headlights turn into real headlights now.
Yeah. Look, this is exactly what we've all been desperate to have for our cybernetic future. You're just lying to yourself if you say otherwise.
My only question is, like, how do they get powers? Do you get like a USB port in your titty, like your nipple's a USB port now to charge it?
I don't know. It might be one of those things where it generates its own power as you move.
Oh, yeah. Some static power or even kinetic energy kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's what I assumed. It's
turn it pink with the touch. Boom, it's pink. You felt a little purple today? It got the message. Now you're glowing in violet. Go on. Embrace the glow.
I think I like the flashing boobs more than I like the light up boobs.
It depends if you're epileptic or not.
You should get them in police car colors.
Yeah. Well, oscillating boobies.
Yeah.
Excuse me, officer. I believe implants.
Look, I don't know if it's real or not, but I want it to be real, and that's enough for me.
Seriously, this is the cyberpunk future I signed up for.
I think it would be awesome. The only issue I would see would be charging, because you do have to charge those. They're lights. But yeah, that'd be awesome.
They're charged through fondling.
She's not that translucent. You don't know that. Stick a flashlight in your mouth and look at your cheeks.
Yeah. Look, boob implants can be done many ways. I have no doubt that this could be a thing if it's not. And if it isn't a thing, it's $1 million idea just waiting to happen.
Digi sent me something I didn't know I needed in my life. It's a cooking show with 3 downsies. But that's not the important part. The important part is that 2 of the downsies are Asians, which I've asked before, can Asians be downsy? And we found out they could.
Yeah, it's really rare.
But the other one that I didn't realize is the third guy is a white guy who's British. And I'd never even put that together before, that all the downsies I've ever seen are American.
Well, that's not true. Dynasty is all Norwegians. Or,
Okay, but they still
Netherlands.
don't. They don't have like the British accent.
Yeah, that's true.
And there's something very fitting about that accent coming out of a retarded person.
Because they're a bunch of drunks.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
I really hope Alex isn't listening to this one.
I think he would laugh right along. All right. Speaking of retards, it's time to check in on Candace Owens.
Oh, dear God. Before we get into this nonsense, thank you, Cougar Knife. Today at Walmart, I watched a woman popping her man's face pimple, then immediately popped it into her mouth. As bad as it was to read this, remember, I had to watch this. That's fucking foul. I probably would have thrown up right on top of them. I would have walked up to them, staggered up more likely, and just puked all over them. Like, you're fucking disgusting.
I don't understand the whole popping other people's pimple stuff to begin with. That's fucking nasty.
That's a gross fetish. That's right up there with like feet and
no, it's much worse than feet.
I don't know. I tried.
You can wash feet and have it's just skin at that point, and sure it looks like a foot, but it's just skin. There is no way to sanitarily is that an actual word?
Yes.
Sanitarily pop somebody's pimple.
Yeah, it's all pus and grossness.
Yeah, it's literally an infection.
People are foul, dude. Thank you, Cougar Knife, for sharing that.
And where said at a Walmart?
Yeah.
Ugh. Well, at least they didn't, leave the pus everywhere else.
It's just I'm glad it wasn't at Target or Meijer. That's where I go to escape Walmart, people.
You're not a cat. You can wash. It's okay.
You can, but I mean,
oh, fucking gross people.
Have you met the French?
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. All right. Candace she can't decide who killed Charlie Kirk, Jack, but she sure was somebody that's not, been arrested for it.
For fuck's sake. Is she trying to decide on which variation of Jew that it is or what?
Well, in this case, it's the feds.
Oh, but there's no evidence of any of that. This isn't the JFK conspiracy.
Oh, she actually gets into that here. We're not going to go that far into this video, though, because I can't take that much, Candace. We'll switch over to the much cuter and more sane Shoe0nHead in a minute. But we got to get through this first part. Now, I do want to say, I can't say for certain that she's not saying that the feds did this at the behest of the Jews.
Of course she is. I mean,
because it is Candace. So, all right, take it away, stupid.
Would have to, and I wouldn't put it like, guys, you got to just give up. It's going to come out. Whatever it is going to come out. You would have to, and I wouldn't put it past you, you'd have to get rid of all of us. You got like 7 billion people you've got to ethnically cleanse right now. If you want to.
Okay. That's as much as I want to say or show, because she's suggesting that the feds killed Charlie Kirk, right? And then she says, what you have to do, and I wouldn't put it past you, is kill 7 billion people. She thinks that they're really shy about taking the credit for killing Charlie, but they could kill 7 billion people, just to keep it quiet.
That's a hell of a length to go for a cover-up.
Right?
I mean, think of the work you have to put in for that.
I wouldn't put it past you to kill 7 billion people to cover up a murder.
Yeah, I'm just going to, go ahead and purify the planet of humanity so that the 30 of us that were in on this could survive. It'll be everybody in my bunker.
So just forget about the Charlie Kirk.
I did not mean to hit that button. Sorry.
That's all right.
Yeah, it's just so fucking retarded, man. Anyhow, yeah, it's just your daily reminder that Hassan is not the only retard, that the left is not the only retards. There's plenty of them on the right, too, and they are growing in popularity. That woman is just straight using Charlie's death to try to do her best Alex Jones impersonation.
Yeah, it's a weird kind of clout chasing off a dead man, and at the same time, one of the laziest conspiracy theories that the sketchy Jews are behind everything. That is just lazy.
Well, her reasoning is that you couldn't get away with it because it's all on camera. This isn't 63 like what happened with Kennedy. That was your mistake, is that we could all see it. And she actually says this. Some ballistics experts online are calling it out.
Oh, ballistics experts online. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, because they heard a shot through a cell phone. Oh, fuck.
Wow.
Why are people this dumb?
I don't know. It's amazing how the more technologically advanced we get, where information is literally at your fingertips, the dumber people have gotten. And I think a lot of it is just laziness. You get in this comfort zone and you just don't bother to look into anything.
Yeah. Anyhow, goddamn. Now, I'm not a big fan of doing live reactions to Shoe. For the record, I need to say this because I should have said it at the top of the show. On the thumbnail, it's Shoe's picture and it says shameless. The shameless is not in regards to her. It's me. I'm shamelessly using her content for our own. However, unlike some people, we will actually be reacting to it in reaction fashion, Jack. It will be on the up and up. It will be fair use.
What? You mean you're not going to take 50 bong hits and be like, whoa, man.
Bruh, I don't even know what I just saw. No, we won't be doing that.
What's that chick's name? Phonytron or something?
Casey Tron.
Yeah, whatever.
It's Casey Tron, and God, she is a wreck of a human.
It's just sad.
But when it comes to one of the reasons I don't typically do live reactions to Shoe is very often I find myself like, if we live react to her, we'll pause it and we'll say something, and then we'll unpause it and she will say the same thing, sometimes word for word. And that kind of feels cheaty. But this one, I could not help myself because of the title of it. The title of this one is, what is it? Hang on one second. I forgot it. It is Female Gooners Must Be Stopped. For you older people out there, choking the chicken, masturbating, spanking the monkey, rubbing the nub, double clicking the mouse, all of those things have gone away, and now they all say gooning. That's the kids' term for masturbatory endeavors.
I was always a little partial to roughing up the suspect.
That's nice. That's a nice one.
Yeah,
as you might imagine, I'm a fan of spanking the monkey. We don't touch the monkey butt, but we will spank the monkey. But yeah, this one is about the, and I'm curious where this goes. All right, you ready for this, Jack?
No.
All right, let's find out what this one is all about.
Oh, I didn't see you there. What am I reading, you ask? Well, just one of the best-selling books on Amazon right now. With millions of sales and almost 20,000 five-star reviews, this book has been absolutely blowing up, especially on TikTok, or BookTok, as the kids call it. Thousands and thousands.
I've been watching a lot of writing channels lately for some fucking reason. There's a hot chick on one of them. And BookTok is a real thing. It's apparently a major influence on Amazon sales.
But my problem with it is we see this with so many things. Like Watergate is really what started it. Like something comes along, and instead of just giving it a new name, or like, this is a book club on TikTok, it's BookTok. Ha ha. I see what you did there.
Yeah, it's lazy. But
It's
again,
lazy
we're
and
talking
stupid.
about a lot of these people are not creative. So at least they came up with BookTok. That's probably the most creative person that they had was like, oh, what if we call it book talk?
I still hate it.
Oh, I agree. It's
Thousands of
stupid.
women in particular have been raving about this piece of literature. What piece of literature is it, you may ask? Well, Morning Glory Milking Farm, of course.
Oh dear God.
You've never heard of this?
No, I have, but I was not expecting that. And I've heard of it from her before. She mentioned it one time. Morning Glory Milking Farm, and the cover art is a chick leaned up against a
Minotaur.
Is it really a minotaur? Because I mean, it just looks like a human with a cow head.
Well, you have to abide by certain guidelines when you're doing erotica like this, where it's not quite bestiality; it's anthropomorphic sex.
It's still bestiality because it's not a human.
I agree, but it has to have more human elements than not in order to be published or for sale on Amazon. Don't ask how I know this.
All right. Okay, ladies, I get it. A lot of you are repressed. Animal sex, really? All right.
A popular romance novel about a young woman down on her luck who does what every young woman does when facing financial struggle. She starts an OnlyFans. No, I'm just kidding. She wouldn't degrade herself like that. She gets a job jerking off monsters.
That's right, the Morning Glory Milking Farm.
I have been reading Morning Glory Milking Farm since last night, and
In fairness to the two women she's shown so far, they are both cows.
They both look like. No, I'm not gonna. I'm just gonna let it go. Just keeping my mouth shut. I get enough trouble.
Well, it is kind of amazing to me because if you guys have ever actually read 50 Shades of Grey, I'm not talking about seeing the stupid ass movie, which was bad enough, but actually go read it. It is some of the worst fucking writing. It's not, I'm not even talking about the nonsensical BDSM that's in it. The actual writing is just bad.
Monkey, she was unleashing her inner goddess.
But women everywhere were like, I get to flick my bean in the middle of it, so it's good writing. This is the greatest shit ever. And this isn't new. Harlequin has been in business for decades, and all it is cheap, sloppy girl porn. It's not good literature. It's not even passable literature.
I hate to correct you here. It is not porn. It's erotica. When
It's
women
porn.
Do it. Nope, it's porn when men do it.
This is true. I'm old enough to have actually read Penthouse Letters.
Yep.
Penthouse Letters are better written than 50 Shades of Grey.
Oh,
And
yeah.
more believable.
Yeah. Look, it's only smut and pornography when men do it, but when women do it, it's erotica or romance. There are distinctions. Erotica tends to be a little smuttier, a little more descriptive about the penetration and stuff like that, whereas romance is a little more implied action.
The question is, why is Monk reading it? I haven't read all of 50 Shades of Grey, but my wife was one of the women caught up in the 50 Shades thing, and she bought it, and it was there. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to check this out. And when she said that she was whisked to the top of the tower at terminal velocity, I laughed so goddamn hard. Do y'all know what terminal velocity means? It's literally as fast as you can fall naturally through gravity. And you fall from high enough, you're going to die.
Well, I mean, you could parse those terms out. Terminal is in the word.
Yeah.
So
if she was shot up in an elevator going terminal velocity, when it stopped, she would go up into the ceiling and die. And I couldn't get that. I couldn't get that thought out of my head. So then I was just jumping around in the book, and I came upon the bathroom tampon scene. It's not in the movie, and if you guys don't know about it, holy shit. It's this erotic part, Jack, where he has her stand in the middle of the bathroom naked and he pulls out her used tampon. And women everywhere were like, oh, I got to flick that bean. Yeah, that's gentlemen. Next time you're at a bar looking to pick up a lady, just walk up to her and tell her, I'd really like to pull your tampon out, and see how hot she becomes. But since it's in a romance book, it was perfectly fine. Yeah, you guys, if you've never read it, at the very least, go. There's several of them on YouTube. Go find people who have read it and who read it on here. You will not believe just how fucking bad it is. It is so bad. All right, back to our chunky cows here.
I'm obsessed.
This was a good time. It did not disappoint. If this book is trash, then I am a fucking raccoon.
No, you're trash like the book is.
Yeah, and dial back the makeup a little bit, or the filters, whatever the fuck is going on there. You look weird.
Bro, did you see Anissa without her makeup on?
No, I had it on TV because the Kino guys were talking about it, but I wasn't looking at the screen at the time, so I missed it.
Watch Bering's video. It's much better than anything you'll get on Kino. They showed it, and look, she's not horribly hideous, but
she seems very plain.
Ian should be allowed to sue her for false advertising. Everybody who has purchased her OnlyFans should be allowed to sue her for false advertising. All right.
Me all of the garbage.
Get your eyeballs on this because it is so good.
I regret to inform you that there is a new epidemic. An epidemic.
Again, this isn't new. I hate to correct you there, Shoe, but Harlequin has been around for years.
Well, we should have a category called new to Shoe.
Yeah.
She doesn't. There's a lot of things that she seems to find like, wow, this is new, and it's been around for like a decade.
Well,
when I was writing erotica, was over a decade ago, and this shit was huge on Amazon then.
In fairness to her, the being proud of female masturbation is kind of new, and it does go back to the 50 Shades days. Women used to read Harlequin and people would make jokes about, what it was, but nobody treated it like it was the best shit ever written. Women would read it when they were going to bed, need to wash their hands, and then fall asleep. You kept it. We have a real problem. Excuse me, now I have the hiccups. We have a real problem just in our society with everybody making their kink known.
Yeah, that is a problem.
Keep it to yourself.
Yeah.
We don't need to know.
Well, now it's a whole personality to have. It's no longer just a fetish. It's a personality type.
Epidemic that many have yet to discuss. And that epidemic is female gooners.
I'm reading what I read.
Now, for those of you unaware, gooner is internet slang for someone addicted to porn. And smut is slang for dark romance novels, otherwise known as porn. Many
See what I mean? That video of that chick, though. I read smut, all the smut. Look at these weird kinds of smut I read. Okay, you're a dirty skank. Is that really what you want known about you? Whatever happened to shame? Shame should be a thing. No, keep shaming. There should be shame. You shouldn't be out there talking about how often do you masturbate? None of your damn business. Do you masturbate? None of your damn business. No, look. I masturbate to dudes with bat wings, which, by the way, in porn means something entirely different.
True.
If you don't know what bat wings are, don't look it up without your safe search on.
Don't look it up. Just save yourself the trouble.
I saw a picture once that has haunted me ever since, Jack. I'm talking mid-thigh.
Ew.
Yeah. Anyway.
Correct about the dangers of porn addiction with men, how it can destroy their lives and their relationships, and most men know the material they consume is weird. That is why they are ashamed of it. That is why they delete their...
I'm not ashamed of it. I just don't think it's anybody else's business, and it's not something that necessarily needs to be, we make jokes around here, but me and Jack have never sat down and discussed, the intricacies of the porn we prefer and positions.
Oh, it's weird.
And I'd love when it makes the slapping sound. We keep it to yourself. Yes, it's personal. Exactly. It's personal.
Yeah, it's like religion. It's not okay to bring it up in casual conversation with random strangers.
There are people where shame is an aspect of it, and if that's you, you shouldn't be ashamed of it. But that doesn't mean you blast it out to. I am not ashamed of pooping, but I'm not going to tell y'all about it because it's not something that needs to be discussed. This is like periods. Remember, we need to talk about periods. No, we fucking don't.
No, nobody wants to hear about that, you nasty cow. That's some sort of sick fetish they got.
Unless you discovered something nobody's ever heard of before, I think we know what periods are.
Right?
Anyhow.
Oh, it's a good time to remind everybody to hit the like button.
Yeah, hit that like button. There's no such thing as personal or age appropriate anymore. You're not wrong about that understatement.
Yeah, unfortunately.
But there should be. Those should still be concepts.
Browser history. That is why they go incognito mode. But these bitches freaks out here. They display their smut openly in bookstores. They proudly pose in front of their smut collections. They discuss their smut openly on TikTok. They go to smut conventions and get choked out by 9-foot-tall shirtless wendigos. Now, I know what you are thinking. Shoe, isn't this the pot calling the kettle degenerate? Yes. Yes, it is. But have you considered it takes one to truly know one? You see, women are strange, fascinating creatures. For centuries, men have tried to...
Strange, fascinating creatures. Wow.
She's not wrong. They are strange and fascinating.
Yeah, so's a car accident.
But it's still true.
Depending on the time of the month, there's less blood in a car accident most of the time.
Figure us out. Our mood is affected by the tides and the moon. We bleed for 5 days and don't die. By painting my face, I can instantly shapeshift from a 4 to a 6. We are truly mysterious, magical creatures. But one of the most mysterious aspects of women to men is our sexuality. You see, us women...
It's really not that... No. She's not wrong, though. I mean, there's a lot of guys out there who think it's deeper than it is. Women like sex, just like you do.
What?
Yeah, I know. But they have a lot more, the smart ones understand that they have a lot more responsibility and reputations. That used to be a thing women cared about. And being the office mattress is not usually conducive to a good reputation. Women, they are turned on differently than we are. They are, and this is generally speaking, because I know there's going to be something like, no, I'm just like men. I love all the porn. Shut up. You're the outlier. Women do like actual porn. Women have turn-ons just like you do. They're just different. They're different ones. But chances are your best male friend has different turn-ons than you too. He just doesn't talk about them because you'll think he's weird.
And ladies, you're probably part of them. So.
Yeah. She's not wrong in that, but it's because of the differences in us. Like, what are you doing over there?
What?
What does that sound?
That's the fan on my computer.
Oh, it sounds like you're scrolling really hard on a mouse wheel.
No, that's the...
Okay.
The fan.
No, that's cool. I just wasn't sure what it was. Normally, I can pick out what the sound is.
Yeah, sorry. Usually the pop shield protects it, or I got a shield situation going on around the computer, and it usually protects it from that noise.
No, it's not a big deal. Like I said, I was just like, what the fuck is he scrolling to? Where's
I'm
the end
very
of that?
angry with my scrolling.
Where's the end of that webpage?
There is no end. There's
Cougar
no
Knife.
beginning.
Cougar
There's
Knife,
only
thank you so
scroll.
much. Some things got out about me, and before you hear this from someone else, I want to come clean. The rumors are true. For the past 3 months, I've been using your mom's bush to dry myself after showers. Wow. I didn't realize it got saved.
Well, I mean, that's weird.
Did you make a towel out of a 30-year-old bush?
Yeah, that's kind of fucked up.
Dangerous, thank you. In Australia, goon is what we call box wine. A goon bag is a silvery bag you find inside. We attach the bag to a rotary clothesline and play a little game we like to call Goon de Fortune. Y'all are weird, man. And Rowan Cloud, thank you so much for becoming a member. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. All right. I forgot what we were talking. Yeah. Men will be like, ooh, I like when women show me their boobs. I'm going to show them my dick. And the woman's like, I didn't want to see that. Even if you get boob pictures from somebody you don't want boob pictures from, chances are you're not gonna be like, oh my God, I can't believe you did that. I'm calling HR. You'd be like,
yeah, because it adds to your catalog of mental boobs that you can compare them to.
Because
whereas nobody wants to look at a penis. It's weird looking.
Well, we're visually motivated. So
yeah,
when we see the naked female form, even ones that typically be like, oh God, there's just a part of you that's like, I saw a naked woman.
Yeah. Well, look, guys, if you're going to send somebody a wiener picture, first of all, do some manscaping. And second of all, put some $100 bills around it. They'll be less likely to get upset.
If you just have to send a dick pic, send it to a gay friend who will actually appreciate it.
They might judge you on it too. So put some $100 bills around it, and it helps the ladies find things they like.
Yeah, so this is where the confusion comes in, where we don't understand women's sexualities, because we are different in what turns us on. We like the naked female form, and you guys apparently want to bang barnyard animals.
Give them all handies, apparently.
Are not like those disgusting moids. No, we are sophisticated. We are evolved.
Women are grosser than men will ever be.
Well, they have a lot of weird things that fall out of their body.
No, I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about when it comes to kink and shit like that, women are grosser than men are.
Oh, absolutely.
Men just get blamed because, like, it gets talked about. Women, until now, didn't run around talking about how they wanted to masturbate farm animals. Anybody who's actually been around women, and I'm not talking about, hanging out with your wife or no, go somewhere where women work, where they're the majority and you're the dude of the group, and just listen. Women are gross, way grosser than dudes are. Anyway,
We don't watch videos of strangers slapping their sweaty bodies together. No, we read about strangers slapping their sweaty bodies together. It's different, okay? You don't understand. It's okay when we do it. So, let's talk about it. Let's talk about the rapidly growing popularity of dark romance on TikTok and the...
this is part of the problem to begin with, is it's women's porn has always just been called romance.
Yep.
They're romance novels. It's historical romance because it's two people banging and we said it in 1776. If they called it what it was, maybe the women would be a little bit more ashamed of it. Maybe they'd be a little shyer about it.
Nah.
Recent dark romance convention that ended in disaster. Let's take a break from all this depressing political news and talk about something silly. Not that those political things aren't important. Trust me, they are. You should be keeping up with politics. A checked out Trump.
Look,
you
guys, you should go watch Shoe's video in full without me interrupting and watch her commercial. I'll watch it later, Shoe, I promise.
I won't.
Because I will go back and watch this uncut. So,
like the star of the stories.
Like the star of the story, indeed.
Book Talk is a very interesting place.
Oh, shit. I meant to play that RFK clip. RFK Jr. today said that there's a link between early circumcision and autism, which I'm just going to throw this out there. Early circumcision has been done for thousands of years.
Yeah, but now they're giving them Tylenol.
But the rise of autism, you can't blame that on the cutting off of the foreskin.
No, it's the Tylenol. See, you're giving the kids the Tylenols.
Yeah, you should make them suffer.
Yeah. They already cut part of your dick off. Now you got to suffer through it.
Look, they cut off part of your dick, but it's part you don't really need. Uncircumcised penises look funny. Funnier than a normal penis looks.
But it's sort of like an alien when the second mouth comes out.
Yeah, it's anyhow.
And any book fans out there know how it has absolutely destroyed the hobby of literature and just flooded it with absolute slop.
Okay. I hate to again correct you here, but this happens anytime some genre blows up.
Yeah.
Hunger Games led to a whole bunch of dystopian teenage novels. Harry Potter led to a whole bunch of shitty magic novels.
Mm-hmm.
And the same thing, 50 Shades of Grey, a whole bunch of shitty BDSM novels came out. Writers are chasing the trend, just like YouTubers do with whatever the trend is. It's just a slower process.
Spicy slop. You see, books on TikTok are not rated by how well they are written or how good the characters are. No, they are rated by the spice. And what does spice mean? Porn. It means porn. Spice level is...
Have you read that book, Jack? The one that the milking thing?
No, but I've seen it referenced many times. I've seen it around.
I do wonder. I might have to check it out and at least flip through, like go to a Barnes and Noble and flip through.
It's gonna lead you through some dark places because then you'll end up like looking at Bigfoot erotica and dinosaur erotica, then the trillionaires and stuff like that. There's a lot of crazy subcategories of the stuff that out there, and you'll go down a dark, creepy rabbit hole.
Spruce says it's hilariously bad. Well, I mean, it's a romance novel, so yeah. But I do want to see just how bad.
Very important to book talkers. How much spice does a book have? What are the spiciest books they have ever read? How spicy is the book they're currently reading? Spice. The spiciest book going viral on book.
I just don't believe they're actually. Maybe this is another girl thing. But if you're reading as a man, if you're reading porn, you don't really care about the setup.
No,
you don't really.
You want to get to the action.
Yeah. Do women just flip a head until she's jacking off the farm animals, or I don't know how women read these kind of. Do you guys actually read through the whole fucking thing? My older sister. Okay, so I have foster sisters. If you ever hear me talk about sisters, the middle of the three, she used to read a Harlequin a day.
Yeah, they're not long books.
Every fucking day she would read a whole nasty little novel, but she would read the whole thing right there on the family couch, man. And now as I'm older, I realize how gross that is.
Well, it's socially acceptable to read that and not Penthouse.
Yeah.
So the double standards are pretty astonishing. But
well, if you call it a massive throbbing penis, then that's bad. If you call it a quivering member, then that's awesome.
Yeah. Digi asked how I know about this stuff. I did my market research when I was writing erotica because I saw how much money people were making doing it. And I knew a couple people that were writing erotica on the side. And you need to know your market. You have different categories of this stuff. You have your regular straight sex. You have gay sex, which wasn't very popular at the time, but lady boys were really popular. And so were these subcategories of like weird stuff. So like if you wanted to cross market, you'd have like the trillionaire dinosaur or the trillionaire Bigfoot. I saw President Bigfoot.
Nice.
And or Prime Minister Bigfoot, something like that. But yeah, you would go through and look at what was trending, write that. You could write one of these stories in 4 or 5 hours. Throw it up, like edit it a little bit. You don't even have to do a very good job editing because trust me, most people didn't. Throw it up on Amazon and make good money off of it. I still make about $20 in royalties every month from my digital books.
If you want to be a writer and get a built-in audience, write girl porn.
Yeah,
somebody will buy that shit.
Get a good pseudonym, because almost all of the erotica on Amazon is written by men, and you can tell the difference too because women have a lot more buildup and aesthetics. Like they talk about lace outfits and the gentle caresses and all the foreplay stuff, whereas the men will have a brief setup of like a page and then they get to the fucking.
Yeah.
And they'll really get graphic with it. So it's an interesting literary experience because a lot of guys will try and mimic what the women do, and some of them are good at it. But there are people that make their living off of this. And
oh yeah,
I haven't done any of the writing on that in 15 years, just about, probably 12 years, and I'm still making money off of this stuff because people still read it. And you get half a cent per page read.
Gigi, thank you so much. I get the feeling that Jack skinwalks as Squidward when he gets a bad case of yellow fever.
Well, look, we all want to get our tentacles in some hot Asians. So, I mean, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
A little gross, but not wrong. But so I'm kind of gross too.
Talk lately is none other than Morning Glory Milking Farm by C.M. Nascosta. Violet is a typical down-on-her-luck millennial, mid-20s, overeducated, and drowning in debt. Oh my god! She's just like me! On the verge of...
This is also, if you're going to try this and write this kind of crap, there's a great line in the pitch meeting for Twilight where the producer guy asks... the writer to tell him about Bella's personality. And he's like, oh, no. She's just a blanket slate. That way the viewer can project themselves onto that.
Yeah. It works really well.
Yeah. It's what was done in 50 Shades of Grey. It's what's done in all of this shit.
Yeah. You create kind of an ambiguous protagonist who's a little more down on herself than everybody else is enamored with her.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you read Twilight, Bella's always talking about how very plain she is in the descriptions, but yet everybody seems attracted to her. They're all drawn to her. And if you craft a narrative like that, where the protagonist doesn't realize that she is the swan and not the ugly goose, then yeah, you will be successful because every woman will imprint their personality on that because they all want to be this beautiful, sought after creature, but they're all kind of down on themselves. Women are very insecure creatures.
Pick a age range and like in this one, down on her luck millennial, overeducated and drowning in debt. Christ, this could have been written by a feminist, just those words.
Oh yeah, you just take a bunch of Take your age demographic, write out some note cards with one-word descriptors, throw them in a fishbowl, shake them up, and pull them out, and you get like Gen Z wants to buy a house, rich velociraptor.
Mm-hmm.
Boom, there's your story right there. So she's gonna get a job as like a maid for this guy, so she can save up and buy her dream house because she's so hard pressed. And oh, next thing you know, he wants to dip his wick in her, and oh, they fall in love.
And she has to be playing it, but for some reason the guy ignores all other women, and especially if you can put a beautiful woman in there as a foil for her.
Yeah.
Oh, and he turned down the pretty girl for the plain. Oh, they will eat that shit up.
Yeah, and find somebody that is a celebrity that you can base the antagonist on, that because they're going to be jealous of her. So find like a Sydney Sweeney, like blonde with voluptuous breasts and a nice curved, bouncy ass. It make it really overly obvious how attractive this woman is, but he's still drawn to this plain Jane girl next door that is scrubbing his pool out with a toothbrush or whatever.
It's basically a modern retelling of Cinderella, except Cinderella was not ugly. She was just dirty and unkempt.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Like, she has to seem plain because the people around her are either jealous of her or they are ignoring her true beauty. Because that's what really matters, is that inner light, her inner goddess, if you will. That's what you focus on.
What about tentacle stuff? That's pretty silly for men. I don't get the tentacle thing, and I will remind you that didn't really see a rise until they started feminizing men.
Yeah, there's a market for everything. There's a space alien market, like where the people get abducted and have sex with space aliens. Tentacle porn, Cthulhu porn. There's something for everyone out there, and the weirder it is, the more likely it is to get noticed. Strangely, so if you could hit the market just right, you will find some like college kids that find it and want to laugh at it because they think it's hilarious and they get the joke. But then you'll have a bunch of weird degenerate perverts that have gone through everything else and they still need to get off.
All right, back to our description here.
Moving into her parents' basement, when a lifeline appears in the form of a very unconventional job in the neighboring Cambric Creek. She has no choice but to grab it with both hands. Morning Glory Farm offers full...
Real quick, thank you, Gigi Evans. This is starting to look like the joke of Down on the Farm with Carl Paladina, I think is what that says, from years ago, but as a novel and not as a New York senator's email containing bestiality porn. I'm not familiar with that story.
I'm glad I'm not familiar with that story.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's amazing. These combinations, like you have like the Minotaur and the farm in this one, whereas it could be like I've seen Amish ladyboys. You have like Bigfoot lovers where the secret rendezvous with Bigfoot. You have all sorts of crazy anthropomorphic shit out there, as well as just whatever vanilla kink people have. The vanilla stuff is saturated though, so you have to hit the weird market to get the real money.
Time hours, full benefits, and generous pay with no experience needed. There's only one catch. The clientele is grade A certified prime beef. Oh God, with the manly meaty endowments to... Okay.
That is prominently displayed in bookstores.
Yep. Yeah. This is a bestseller, folks.
Yeah, somebody made millions off of this. All right.
Morning Glory Milking Farm is actually a profound critique of late-stage capitalism and...
That's the other crowd you'll get, the weirdos.
Jacking off cows is this like a weird version of Animal Farm? It's a critique of late stage capitalism. Why? Because you made the chick down on her luck, I love the overeducated part.
Yeah.
And she might have to move back in with her parents, but hey, look, she gets to jack off some bulls.
Do you want to hear the good news or the bad news?
Start with the good news.
There is no good news. The bad news is that this book is $25 on Amazon. And it's book 105.
I'm not shocked by that. I got to start writing girl porn.
Yeah, there's a lot of money in it.
I need a nom de plume though. Spicy McVagina.
You got to dial it a little further back than that because they won't let you put vagina in your.
Okay, how about McMuffin?
Oh, there you go. Or I would say McQuim because quim is an old English word for vagina.
Panting. People are giving me some good ideas. Panting monkey and fapping monkey. Rusty nail. No, I don't think we'll go with that one.
Rusty nail. Yeah, this is number 2 in science fiction erotica, number 12 in paranormal erotica, and number 236 in romantic fantasy.
I'm just gonna write a girl porn book called Jacking Off Cows. It's a certified bestseller.
It's a grade A bestseller. 253 pages. Jesus, that's what 140 typed pages.
That is a lot of pages for girl porn.
Well, you got to dress it up a little bit with some more alliterations. Like I said, if you want to write like a woman, you have to add the foreplay and the details in there, and that'll kill a lot of space. Like the crisp weather as the sun began to set made her pull her shawl closer to her, tightening her bosoms.
Is there part of this book where it mentions how he gently caresses her nipples with his hooves?
He probably has human hands.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Of course. I like that the only parts of it where he's a cow is his head and his wiener. I mean, of all the things that probably shouldn't be anthropomorphized, there's the wiener.
Chicks in these book circles love a gigantic dong. I mean, you gotta have 12 inches or more to make them come.
I'm gonna go for lucky 13 in my book.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and you could make it the love interest demon.
Oh, I just had the greatest idea. He's gonna have a 13-inch wiener, but he's gonna be the runt.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're going for the Predator, the Badlands look.
Yeah. He's the runt of the litter with his 13-incher. All the other cows have I should say bulls, right? Because cows don't have penises.
Correct.
All the other bulls are, coming in with 16 or more.
Ew,
yeah. I'm gonna be a millionaire, you guys. The sad part is that would sell.
Look, man, I don't try and figure this shit out. I just want to make money off of it.
Yeah, I just want to make money off stupid people.
Yeah. Oh, here's one. Can't get no satisfaction. Get it? Satyrs with the pan flutes.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah. The Lady and the Orc, a monster fantasy romance. Extra virgin gargoyle.
In this text, we see that the tingling sensation in her coochie is actually the tingling sensation of a Marxist revolution.
Her nethers were a tingle like a Marxist revolution.
her tingling nethers are just the start of communism.
Look, her vagina was on fire, like the bullets penetrating a czar.
Oh my dear God.
You should write Marxist revolutionary porn, dude.
Marxist revolutionary anthropomorphized porn.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. That is the proper reaction to what was just said.
I mean, yeah, pretty much.
This is every fucking breadtube video to me, dude. This is every Jack Saint video. So I actually read the book myself, and I'm not gonna lie, the 19th Amendment needs to be abolished. So
that is also the proper response to this book.
Indeed. Well played, Shoe.
like I said, the story is basically this millennial named Violet, and she gets a job basically working at Big Pharma in Narnia, where they harvest Minotaur milk to make Viagra for human males.
So not only is it girl porn, it's really fucking... I thought it was gross with her jacking off the bull, but now it's to feed it to men.
Yeah, of course. Why wouldn't it be? Those beta cuck losers. They got to get real monster semen in them.
My book will not contain men being fed bull semen.
Oh, I hope not. It's sort of like when chicks get that facial scrub that's got like salmon spooge on it.
I do have some standards. This is...
You want to write erotica, those standards got to go away, pal.
I feel like not feeding sperm to dudes is pretty reasonable standard to have.
Yeah, yeah.
There's Dinosaur Erotica apparently too. Thank you, Comrade Kitty, for becoming a member for month number 27. Yeah, Jack was mentioning that a little while ago.
Yeah, Velociraptor porn was huge for a little while. But there's also Triceratops porn and some T-Rex porn. The T-Rex stuff gets pretty fucking weird.
I don't understand.
Dude, I don't get it either.
And I read the whole thing. Probably gonna be put on some kind of watch list. But listen, this is my job, okay? I'm not out here like selling feet pics or something. What I do is far more dignified and normal. Now let's take a look at some of these notes I wrote. Let's see. Big dick and balls. I'd one.
Sometimes you need a full page to describe that.
She wrote it on the page. I love that.
That probably improved the literary value of that book.
Yeah, it's probably spelled correctly. Yeah. Because if there's one thing I know about this genre is that they're not real big on the editing.
No, not particularly.
Again, if you've read 50 Shades, you know what I'm talking about.
You know what really pisses me off the most, though, is the lack of indentation on paragraphs.
Oh, I fucking hate that. It's a standard now because of the internet.
Yeah.
Just like getting rid of the Oxford comma or commas at all.
Yeah. Or punctuation in general.
Capitalization, yeah.
Quotation marks. Spell check.
Yeah. That's not how you ride the bull, you weirdos.
Yeah, terminal velocity.
Point she says the term, and I quote, the seam of his sack. So I'm reading this in the...
What happened to his sack? That's got a seam on it.
There is a seam on the sack. It runs right down the middle of your sack. Pay attention to your nuts, man. But this is something I've talked about before. While I realize there's probably one or two women out there who are weird because it's just statistically, nobody is turned on by balls.
Although they look funny when they're on your eyes, ladies.
There's women are not out there going, oh, he had the greatest set of balls I've ever seen.
That's large milk sack.
Nobody likes balls. We don't even like them. They get hurt all the time.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they're in the way a lot.
They get in the way. They make it uncomfortable when you sit, or it gets warm, or it's a day ending in Y.
Yep.
The whole time I'm thinking like, okay, he probably has like a human head, right? He probably like looks something like this, like, you know, just a dude with like horns. Then I see the official artwork. That's a cow. Bro is a cow. Bro is a straight up cow. In a few parts they're being intimate and it will be like, his hooves clip clopped.
Oh shit. I mean, you kind of have to have the hooves in there if you're going to have a cow man. All right.
I'm guessing he has hoof legs and human hands.
Yeah. His human part is just the abdomen, from the waist to the neck, which would include the arms. So waist to neck and everything else is cow. Good writing.
Oh, I think I just found an untapped genre.
Ladies, go ahead.
Scarecrow porn.
I'm gonna write this, but instead of it being like that, the only part of them that will be cow is from the neck to the belt line. So he's got hairy cow titties and hooves on his hands, but regular feet and a human head and a human wiener, because then it's not as weird.
Yeah, that'll make it less weird.
Hooves will tear up your sheets. And it's like, I'm sorry, his what? At one point, she describes kissing him. And I swear to God,
Oh, he has a cow head.
He licked all the cut out of her mouth, or vice versa.
This book has to feature peanut butter, right?
Probably more like grass, like freshly cut grass.
Got some wheat.
Yeah, some hay.
All right.
was more disgusting than anything else described in this book. She's like describing how big and wide his mouth is and how big and like slimy his tongue is. She's like describing the shit and you're just like, that's a cow. I mean, we are at a solid 5.5 on the Barbeau scale here. This is dangerous territory, folks. She also f***ers his ass.
Of course she does.
Hey, yeah, why not? Okay.
He gave a guttural moo from deep inside his seventh stomach.
It made him stomp his hooves. See, this is what I was talking about when I say that women are grosser than men are. And look, this for I don't know the author. I don't know if they've been, there's a picture out there or anything. Maybe this is a dude who wrote this. I'm gonna give the best interpretation possible. Let's say a man wrote this posing as a woman. It's women who are masturbating to it. Y'all are fucking gross, man.
She f***ers the cow's ass. By the way, if you want an uncensored version of this video and all my videos, Patreon. Go to Patreon, become a member. All members get the uncensored.
Shoe, I love you, but this is not the uncensored is selling the uncensored version of this video. Yeah, because what I really need to hear is actually fingers his asshole.
Yeah, I have a better idea. Me and Monkey have Patreons.
Indeed.
Linked in the description.
I
don't think I've ever mentioned fingering someone's asshole before in any of my videos ever. So this is a first.
Yeah, use it when you're saying something funny and you have to bleep that rather than really gross shit. I'm just trying to help you out here since I didn't watch your ad.
It's icky.
Oh God, I don't want to hit play.
Yes, you do.
Censored version of every video, so you can hear me talking about and f***ing a cow's asshole. Is that what you freaks want? Anyway, I like how in this fantasy world, student loans still exist. Like, we can imagine a world with minotaurs and humans in a relationship, but we can't imagine a world without student loans. Sad. Oh, and he has one of those bull rings, like the nose ring theory septum rings. And in this world, that means, like, you're married, but apparently he's divorced. The man is...
The cow man is divorced.
He's probably paying like calf support too.
Why?
Why not?
Why?
There's no rules with this nonsense. It's any degenerate weird shit you can come up with is fair game.
Verifier says you spelled that wrong. It says oof cringe. It's hoof cringe.
Oh, fair.
See what I did there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm clever. Oh my god damn.
Divorced. This is a divorced cow with a cow ex-wife. The lore is deep, folks. The funniest part, though, has to be when they go on a date. I need to...
Okay, just physically, right? You're a cow. You're a bull with a big old wiener. And you can either stick it 6 inches into a human chick, maybe a foot, depending on the whore, or all the way into a cow chick. Which one are you going to go for?
Look, this doesn't have to make any sense at all. Because let's face it, this is not only completely unrealistic, but have you ever seen the videos of the German films where chicks are ripped apart by animal dongs?
No.
I mean, this is not something you start off with. This is very experienced stretched vagina work.
There is a depth, though. There's an eventual depth that you can hit that the human body can't take more than.
That's true. The cervix gets in the way.
You ever seen like when they artificially inseminate a cow? I mean, they stick their whole arm all the way up a cow.
Yeah.
All right.
That's again, you're asking technical questions for a fantasy world here, dude.
These are the kind of things that bother me in this stuff, though. I mean, just physically, as a man, like, let me see. I can either get a tenth of my wiener inside. Like this is the equivalent of just the tip.
Yeah. Just the bull tip.
But except for in this case, that's all he can get because otherwise he would murder her with his wiener. Like that scene in Seven. All right.
Just read this to you. When the bill arrived, she attempted to pull a handful of carefully folded bills from her wristlet before he stopped her. No, that's absolutely not happening. Put that away. She'd not thought about it until the day after their first dinner together, realizing that in mortification that she ought to have attempted to pay her half. What kind of feminist are you? She asked.
Goddamn.
But you didn't see that coming?
I should have. I really should have. I mean, this is basically the female communist manifesto, apparently. Yeah, I should have seen that coming.
This is the communist festo. Yeah, look, with a lot of these, you have to put more of a feminist twist on things, unless it has lady boys, and then they're supposed to be ultra feminine and very, very well passing. So it's all about knowing your audience.
I am going to use AI and I'm going to write a really shitty female romance novel and become a millionaire. We need Gilbert Gottfried to do a reading of this. Yes. And when I recommended earlier go listen to somebody reading 50 Shades, you should check out the Gilbert Gottfried version.
Yeah.
But not as your first introduction to it.
Oh no, I say go fully and just because it's fucking awful. I don't recommend anyone read that book. It's fucking stupid.
I don't recommend anybody buy it, but if you see a copy, pick it up and just read a little bit of it.
Yeah, read it at the library or something. Some homeless might fight you for it, but
R.I.P. Gilbert. I was a sort of fan of Gilbert. I could not take him for very long.
Yeah.
He was incredibly funny man. Absolutely genius comedian.
But he was a lot like Bobcat Goldthwait.
Yes.
Doses.
He was best as a bit character. Like his role in Beverly Hills Cop 2 was the perfect amount of Gilbert. He's in the movie for like 2 minutes and that's it. All right, back to our weird girl porn.
Herself. She couldn't remember the last time she'd been out and hadn't paid for her half, including her coffee date with Carson Tinsley. She had come prepared that night, several weeks of her tips smoothed and tucked into her wristlet. But I didn't even offer to pay half the other night and shouldn't have Violet. If the commanding rumble of his voice hadn't silenced her, the heat of his hand dropping to her knee would've. I don't want you to feel that you don't have any agency here. I might be the one.
Oh.
I'm gonna validate you. Oh, that's so hot.
They even have the buzzwords in here.
Yep. Yeah, it's all about knowing your market audience, dude. It really is. And look, that's why Book Talk is real into this. It hits all the socialism markers. You're validating her. You're telling her how she's so strong and independent, yet also feminine and attractive. It's everything that modern lunatics want to hear.
In all seriousness, how long do you think it would take me to bang out a 200-page book of this?
So 200 pages would be about 75 typed, if formatted correctly. Yeah, you could do that in probably under a week with minimal spell check.
Ranting monkey girl porn is on its way, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm not kidding. I'm going to write nasty novels for women.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. I encourage people to try their hand at this. If you ever want to be a writer, it's a really good way to challenge yourself is to write erotica, because you have to come up with alliterations. You have to come up with characters that are borderline nonsensical. It's like trying to challenge somebody to rewrite Flatland.
One giving all the orders, but you hold all the cards. Your comfort is the only thing that counts.
I'm giving all the orders, but you own all the... This is 50 Shades.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. The template's right there.
Yeah.
You just take modern feminist theory and adapt it to a book. It's not hard.
You'll do everything I tell you, but I'll only tell you what you allow me to tell you.
No, I'm empowering you to do everything I tell you.
Yeah, exactly. This is stupid. Have Lady Monkey be my first reviewer, reader? What did that say? I know I saw that somewhere. Your first reader. No, because this is the kind of thing that I would be ashamed to show my wife until I made money from it.
Yeah. Until
Much
that
like
first direct
YouTube.
deposit comes in.
I did not tell Lady Monkey that I was doing YouTube until I had already uploaded several videos. And it wasn't because I was ashamed of it or anything. It was because I know my wife, and she had to see that there was a reason behind it, that there was a value to it.
Yeah.
Rather than me just wasting my time. And now she's like, bitch, you haven't worked in a week. Get to work. All right.
Right now. And if I overstep, I want you to know you can tell me so. But that's not happening. Don't think I'm unaware we're at different points in our careers. You can say no. You can say you don't want to see me again. You can tell.
I'm sorry. This is the bull and her at dinner. Is that what I was led to believe?
Yes. Well.
And he says to her, I understand we're at different points in our career. Her job is to jack you off.
Yeah, but his career's he's been a Jackie for a lot longer than she's been a Handy. It's like being the manager at the glory hole, you know. You've been there a while, but the girl's kind of new still, so she hasn't quite figured out the cup and the balls technique.
I love that jacking off farm animals is referred to as a career.
I mean, you can make anything into a career these days.
Well, it did say it had benefits and everything with it, so. I saw her on one of. Sorry about.
Is that him? Is he cutting out?
I saw her on one of her. Even my internet doesn't want to do this.
Right? Yeah, sir. She told him to get his ass back in the internet corner and make her that money. Oh. Ooh. We're stuck with this image on screen while he switches internets. You back? No? Okay.
Nope.
Yeah, I heard you. You said nope. This is no bullshit lady script. Won't surprise me.
No. Damn it.
Yes, I heard you. Heard you say no, damn it. I heard that. Eventually he'll come back. There, you said something there. I heard that. Nascosta? That's a fake name, I think. There he is. Well, physically anyway. Duck reads book. Oh, there's gonna be a film adaptation. Oh my god, that'd be hilarious.
God damn it.
There, are you back now? We're catching a little sweat. It's like tuning in a radio. You get little clips of words as you scroll through the thing. I heard your desk drawer. Monk needs a pseudonym for books. Yeah, absolutely. You always want to write anytime you do smut, you want to write under a nom de plume. Otherwise, you're going to ruin any other potential career you have, and people will be judging you pretty harshly in your real life. I think he can't hear you, Jack, but you can hear him. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Hold your rabbit ears to the left. Yeah, put some tinfoil on them. That's the problem with living in the Midwest. Hey, good morning, blue-eyed. We were talking about erotica, and you missed the glowing boobies. Fap Jarbo. That's funny.
Mother.
Monkey Ghost Hunting Spirit Box Edition. Right? Are you back?
Am I back now?
I could hear you every now and then.
Can you hear me right now?
Yeah.
Oh, thank God. Yeah, my internet signal just kept bouncing.
Yeah, I kept hearing, nope, no, God damn it.
No, I just had to disconnect it and reconnect it, and now it seems fine. I don't know what the hell that was. That was new.
You probably had to clear the cache because you were online so much.
Could be.
Because, I mean, you were on Scribe's show for like 7 hours, so.
Anyhow, fuck, that was annoying.
Well, I mean, your internet didn't want to talk about this book anymore either.
Yeah, I made that joke when I was gone.
Yeah, I heard you.
And now I'm frustrated. Like women. All right, here we go.
Tell me to stop coming to the farm when you're working. It's dinner, not a down payment of your time, but I'm in a position to comfortably spoil someone. So when you're with me, I'm spoiling you. End of story. She was a good feminist, she told herself, and she definitely couldn't be bought. But if he had suggested at that moment that he would have appreciated a blowjob, she would have fallen face first on his cock with an open mouth without a shred of hesitation.
That's very feminist.
I've realized that the ideal feminist power fantasy is to just be a woman.
Yeah, to be submissive.
Yeah, to be a woman. And I don't mean that mean, ladies. I mean it in the power dynamic, that's how it tends to work out. Yeah. But that is the female fantasy, which is sad because you can actually live that pretty easily.
No, feminism won't let you. You'll be ostracized by your sad loser friends that can't get men.
Hello, IT. Have you tried turning it off and back on? You know, sometimes that does work. I actually do try that before I call IT. I get annoyed if I ever have to call IT because I go through, I don't bother them with like, it won't turn on. And I know enough about computers to do a whole bunch of shit before I get to them, but they still have to go through all of the steps I've just done.
Oh yeah, they have to treat you like you're a tard because that's
Yep.
more often what they experience.
Yeah, because most of the people who call are tards. Like, oh, whoops, I did forget to plug it in.
Yeah.
Inside every woman, there are two wolves. Or two bulls. The strong, independent girl boss and the submissive, doting housewife. And in the presence of a masculine man, or a farm animal, she will fold like a lawn chair and instantly return to factory settings.
It's
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Because it's for all of these women and all of their talk about, we're just like, it's not what women actually want. Look at their popular porn, Jack, like 50 Shades or this. It is a powerful male figure dominating them.
Yeah.
And like, but no, that men shouldn't act like that. Well, then why are you beating off to it? Because let me tell you something. There are things that I've seen in porn that I would like to see in real life. It's never been like, oh, I'm so disgusted by this, I need to watch it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it. But women can't admit that because feminism.
dinner, not a down payment for your time. But I'm in a position to comfortably spoil someone. So when you're with me, I'm spoiling you. End of story. I said, okay, I highlighted that paragraph for myself.
Clean up aisle 5.
Okay.
So that's what I thought.
What? Okay.
Of it. But what did other people think of it? What are the reviews on this book? This book has a 4.1 on Amazon with 21,000 ratings and a 3.6 on Goodreads with nearly 60,000 ratings. Let's just read some random ones here.
Well, just real quick, I am curious about the ratings because you can have a good story that's poorly written and give it a better score than it deserves.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, my books have some of those.
Iron Eagle is a really horrible movie if you pay attention to it, but it's a great fun time. So I would give it a thumbs up.
Yeah.
But if I were looking at it critically, be like, this movie's dumb as shit and nobody should watch it. Just so when it comes to the ratings, I do want to be a little fair to the dumb women out there. They're like, hey, it's not the best literature, but it sure did get my bean nice and erect. Hopefully my daughter is turned away from this episode long before she just heard her dad use the phrase got my bean erect.
I mean, yeah, that seems like something you don't want to hear your father say.
Oh fuck. Munchkin, if you're still watching, you should probably turn this off.
Oh, here, let me help. The Jolly Green Giant has a beanstalk.
Yeah, yes.
Hear me out. Hear me out. A milking good time. Sweet and creamy. The spice is spicing. I was very leery of starting this because I thought it was just going to be porn. The plot is pretty good. The plot? Please. This is like the new, I read Playboy for the articles. Like, sure you do.
It's not the new. It's what women have done all along. I've actually had people who read historical romance and are like, what I really like is the historical aspect.
Right.
And have you ever read a historical romance?
Yeah, they're just smut.
They have nothing to do with the history. They're like, okay, I want to write a story about a chick who bangs farm animals, and I want it to be historical, so I will set it in Marcus Aurelius's time. He won't be a part of the story. We'll mention his name once or twice, but it'll have nothing to do with the Roman Empire.
Yeah, other than like the occasional reference to going to a Colosseum and wearing a toga.
Yeah.
That's about it.
My wife had one time that was, I use the Revolutionary War one a lot because the one of hers that I checked out, because I like history, Jack. It was a historical romance set in the Revolution, and the Revolution had nothing to do with it. But George Washington's name was in the book.
Do they talk about his penis?
They just mentioned Washington. I believe the exact wording was Washington's army.
Oh.
Yeah. The guy wasn't part of Washington's army or anything. If I remember correctly, he couldn't serve for some reason.
But he managed to get inside of her Valley Forge.
Yes. And ate the horses.
Yeah.
All right.
This book could kill a Victorian child. 5 stars. I'll never look at a jug of milk the same. I think I'm lactose intolerant now. So that happened. Our eyes will never see the gates of heaven. 1 star. Not a helpful guide. This book failed to teach me how to milk a cow, and now my family has no food for the winter.
I appreciate somebody with a sense of humor.
Yeah. It's not the audio book too. Oh my god. If you're ever driving in city traffic, put this audiobook on and listen to it and put the windows down at every intersection.
Blue-Eyed said, you guys know way more about it than I do. Well, a couple of things. I don't know how old you are, but me and Jack come from a time where books were a lot more read than they are now.
Yeah, but the pre-internet times, that's how you took your smut where you could get it.
Yep. And it's always been kind of an open secret that romance is girl porn.
Yeah.
That erotica is girl porn.
1 star. Accidentally ordered while on pain medication after an operation. Gave this to my mom as a joke gift for Christmas. You what? Lesai. Why can't human males be more-
Wait. I bought this as a joke gift for my mom for Christmas. I had not read it at the time. Should I have done that? I don't know, but my past is my past. You gave it 4 stars.
Well,
all right.
Comedy value gets you at least 3, right?
Blue-Eyed says I'm 1 year younger than you. Well, here's the other part of that dynamic. Women, there really has been an oppression of women when it comes to their sexuality. And a lot of you women had very bubble existences. Like my wife, I'm the worst thing she's ever done. There are things I can't talk about on here because I'm pretty sure the statute of limitations isn't up. Men and women are raised differently, and conversations are different, and repression levels are. I said oppressed earlier. I meant repressed. But there's a difference in the way boys and girls are raised in the conversations and stuff that you would have had to have been in one of these book clubs where they read smut like this as a woman to really fall into it at our age.
Yeah, and women tend to be a little bit more sheltered from this stuff just because like their parents don't want them exposed too young, so that they're afraid their daughters will end up being whores, and they were a little more concerned about virtue and not getting pregnant as a teenager, that sort of thing.
Yep. Anyway,
as a joke gift for Christmas. You what? Lesai. Why can't human males be more like this?
Because we're not barnyard animals made up by feminist communist.
Also, if I went to a fancy restaurant and there was a bull sitting in there with some chick, I would call the health department. Be like, there's wild animals in here, Minotaur or otherwise.
Also, especially if I'm dating a feminist and she reaches to pay for it, I'm going to let her pay for it.
Yeah. And,
because I respect her.
Later.
I respect her as a person.
And if you want your butthole fingered, she'll do that too, apparently.
Rich and handsome are no longer enough, boys. Now you have to be a 9-foot-tall creature from Greek mythology with a 13-inch dick. I never want to hear.
I'm a little bothered that she said 13 inches.
Yeah, I know.
Because I mentioned 13 earlier.
Yeah, we haven't watched this before either, so it's kind of creeping me out.
From another person about how they read 100 books in a year if this is the kind of slop they are consuming. Well, Ronald, man detected, this isn't for you. This is for women. So take your ass back to Barely Legal Babysitter 5 or whatever the f*** you watch that is so morally superior than this.
I feel judged. Jesus.
I just want to point out that Barely Legal is legal And there is not a state in the union where jacking off a cow for fun and profit is.
Well, we'd have to check with Cenk Uygur on that one.
I mean, they have
Sure he
the
knows.
machines for artificial insemination, so they got to get that from the bulls somehow. But
I would think there's a machine for that.
as far as I know, they don't take them to dinner and stick their fingers up their butt for sexual pleasure.
There's a farmer taking his bull to dinner before he gives it the fleshlight. Real quick. Jeez. What a time for a donation to come in. Thank you for the tip of all potato. Off topic, but fun thing I learned today. The Australian Prime Minister is in charge of a lobbying group that has access to basically all of our politicians. When a politician pointed out how strange and frankly unacceptable that is, he just got kicked out. Yeah, that's kind of fucked up, dude. You guys are real close to being a communist country. Good luck.
All right.
Him who is without sin cast the first stone, okay? God bless America. It's great to live in a country where I can casually enjoy cozy erotica about a young woman who milks her way to financial security and true love with a minotaur. This is what freedom looks like, and I intend to fully enjoy it before the Supreme Court takes this right away next. If this is what freedom looks like, I'm really rethinking my stance on freedom, not gonna lie. Maybe we should have less of it. All I know is if Donald...
Look, I get she's joking there. I don't think smut like this should be outlawed. I just think it should be properly laughed at rather than, masturbated to.
Yeah, look, if you want to touch yourself to it, that's what you do in your private areas, far away from anybody else's splatter zone. So that's fine with me, but it's most of the time these things are written tongue in cheek, so they're supposed to be kind of silly and fun, and it's something to be mocked and laughed at. So I think some people take this shit way too seriously.
I'm just thinking of all the euphemisms I can come up with.
Oh yeah, it's a good time. I'm telling you, it's fun.
That's the fun part.
Trump takes the monster porn, we are going to make 2020 look like a picnic, okay? Bull cock matters. Oh my god. Edit that out. Editor, edit that out. Women are going to be picking up Animal Farm now, like, where's the horse cock? Some of you people owe a certain streamer an apology
It
because
bothers me that she also brought up Animal Farm. I may have been watching too much Shoe.
Quite possibly. Well, she did mention horsecock, so she's probably watching Sinatra.
book has way too many 5 stars. Some of you are lying. So after buying this book, Amazon has given me a few interesting recommendations. Would you like to see them? I accidentally summoned a demon boyfriend. That time I got drunk and saved a demon. Gentling the beast. Cupcakes for my orc enemy. Mane of my existence. The gargoyle and the spinster. The widow and the orcs. Hoarded by the dragon. There's something about dragons. Getting it on with gargoyles. Gotten by the gator. Mated to the mountain bear. Oh, so this is why they chose the bear.
There's a billionaire one. See, I told ya.
A billionaire orc. Moth manager. Wolves and whipped cream. The wolf in my tavern. Pounded by produce. Oh.
Yeah, that's a thing too.
And now the VeggieTales theme is going through my head.
You're welcome. Now, if you're structuring one of these, you have to be careful with the cross-contamination because, like, you have the billionaire orc one. You have to be careful not to do too much of one or the other. So you have to have a happy medium of both billionaire and orc. So you don't want to lean too heavily into one or you'll disappoint the fan base of the other, and they won't recommend your book.
I can't even. I don't use that term very often, but I just can't.
This is a perfectly financially viable source of income for people. It's a weird market, but there's a big market for it.
Tonsau, thank you. A lot of fat women on those covers. Yeah. Well, many of them were pregnant.
Yeah, there is a pregnancy fetish too. And there's like a chubbo thing, so you don't want to be fat phobic.
Am I blocked? Do I say bad things? I can read what you said.
All
All
I
right.
see it just fine, Jordash.
What? Are these the books the Nazis burned?
My husband only reads finance and sci-fi books, and so I think it's about time that I introduce him to some real literature. So the first book that I would like to introduce you to is called Morning Glory Milking Farm. And it's not a normal milking farm like with cows. What it is it's big, bulky minotaurs, and it's a special type of milking.
See, honey, she's his...
Yeah, we all get the metaphor. You don't have to spell it out.
Yeah, she's not married, first of all. Second of all, the next sequence would be him handing her divorce papers.
stepsister, and she got stuck in the washing machine again. Women on TikTok are openly, proudly talking about the porn they consume and getting mad at people when they make fun of it. I hereby ban men from reacting to romantasy on TikTok.
You don't have that power over me, lady.
But she thinks she does because she's a strong woman.
Romantasy. Get fucked.
Yeah, it's romantic fantasy. So you can have stuff like fairies and minotaurs and werewolves and orcs banging.
Thank you, Gigi. Ravaged by the Rage Pig by J. Caesar, 187.
Mm-hmm.
Is that an Ethan Ralph book?
No, that's funny though. It would be hilarious if he was running like the pig stream and he's rutting his way through Mexico. Yeah, let's see. Time to wash my laundry. I understand.
The books like A Court of Thorns and Roses and A Fourth Wing contain descriptions of hot sex. I feel like that's common knowledge, if not their primary purposes. But in recent months, book talk has become full of men clutching their pearls while reacting to steamy scenes from these popular female-centered books.
Oh, is that us right now?
Yes.
But
we're not on TikTok, so we're okay.
Well, yeah, I mean, we're sane, so...
I do like the play on A Song of Ice and Fire there, The Court of Thorns and Roses.
Yeah.
If you're going to write one of these and you can get roses or thorns in your title, all the better.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of keywords that you want to put in your book description that should be kind of thematic in your books as well. Just follow the trends. Find out what's the best-selling stuff and find a way to rip it off with a slight twist, and you'll do just fine. There are literally thousands of these erotica books, probably hundreds of thousands by now, on Amazon. And they're not all in paperback. There's a lot of ones that are just Kindle. It's a real moneymaker. You can seriously do a lot of money. You have to be careful. There's some things you can't do, but those rules are well established and spelled out pretty thoroughly. And if you go on the forums, you can read people whining incessantly about them. So, yeah, it's safer to put it in paperback form. You avoid a lot of censors.
Obviously, this is all a massive performance. We live in the age of OnlyFans. The odds are that these men have seen actual porn that defies the laws of physics and God. Over 90% of men between the ages 16 and 73 watch porn in any random month.
Why is it to 73? Do you stop watching porn at 74?
I don't know.
Statistically, no way all of these guys are shocked by the sex itself. What they're...
Okay. There's a difference. Shoe brought up the barely legal thing here. There's a difference between watching humans have sex and jacking off to a book about a chick banging a bull.
Yeah, chicks are weird.
It's not the sex, it's who the sex is with. And yes, there are some freaks out there. You got your furries, you got your tentacle folk. What is that called again? I don't care. Yeah. And all of that has come with the feminization of men. There was not hentai, back in the 20s when they were making the first porn movies. It's not just that it's sex. It's that you guys it's weird. It's fucking, the book is about jacking off cows.
Yeah.
Cows.
I blame a lot of this on birth control pills. You're putting a lot of weird chemicals in your body, and next thing you know, you're reading about minotaurs getting handies from desperate tarts
Balking at it.
Oh, money.
Yeah. Who might have to live in mom's basement. The horror.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, ladies in chat, because I know there's a couple of you here. If you were facing either having to move back in with your parents or jacking off farm animals, which one would you take? Give me a 1 for moving back in with your parents, and go get therapy if you're going to put 2 in the chat.
Also, make sure you get checked for carpal tunnel from repetitive motion.
Yeah.
Sex from the perspective of female desire, scenes that depict women coming first and frequently. And what they are surprised by is the women they...
Okay, have you not watched actual porn? The women always come first.
AP. Hi, AP. How you doing?
What AP saying? What's up, AP? Moving back in with mom at 44, jerk off a cow. The cow is getting jerked. I asked the women, my friend. The women.
know love these scenes. In one video, a guy declares, "Now I know why women enjoy book clubs and wine," but his astonishment in itself is astonishing. Like, what do you think adult women were into? Not having sex and drinking wine? Grow up. Imagine a group of...
Well, I mean, this is another open secret from the old days, is that, like, Tupperware parties, occasionally, they were basically stag parties for women.
Yeah, they just evolve into strippers and dildos, right?
They would break out some porn and have dirty conversations and stuff because women are nasty.
The pillow fights, and then
The
they
difference
go down on
is-
each other.
The difference is it was still treated like a secret, and you weren't putting your nastiness out to the world. It was in your closed book club. Nobody went home afterwards and told the whole world about how they all, flick their bean. I don't know why I'm stuck on that one tonight. But at the party with their girlfriends as they were talking about this shit. I'm just saying I don't want to have to live with my mom. I get you, AP. And see, this is the difference, because as a man, we would be looking at it like, oh God, this is what I have to do. And in this case, it's like, this is what I get to do. And those are entirely different things.
Yeah.
men sitting around drinking wine, discussing the porn they watch. That is what you guys are essentially doing. It's just funny, okay? Like, it's funny. Are we really going to pretend that a story about a young woman getting a job milking mythical creatures to pay off her student debt is not funny?
This is one of the things I like about live streaming versus videos. We can say jacking off and she keeps having to say milking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Funny. If that makes me a sexist and misogynist, you got me. To act like you are so different and above the other gooners is just, it's silly. I'm sorry, but...
No. I am absolutely above people who masturbate to cow porn.
It's bull porn. Thank you.
Bovine porn. How about that?
Minotaur erotica.
I am 100% better than them.
Yeah, they're rubbing their pants looking for that clue. Get it? Because a clue is a ball string. And that's what these kids used to get out of it. Yeah. History joke.
When a Mexican woman flicks her little bean, wait, hang on. It means she disciplined one of her children by flicking their ear. Do Mexican women flip their jumping bean?
No, that just means the kid kicked.
All right. I've never heard of men being into... There's some... you've never heard of a donkey show? Have you not seen Clerks 2?
Yeah, there's
It's
a lot of really fucked up degenerate stuff.
oh yeah. Anyhow, look, again, though, the thing is, you don't have a bunch of dudes out there talking about, I mean, other than Cenk Uygur, about how much they want to masturbate a horse.
No, see, women all have these kind of book club get-togethers, whereas men used to go into a sketchy, sticky theater and try not to make eye contact with anyone while they jerked it under their trench coat.
AP said if Mexican women could pleasure themselves, they wouldn't have 12 kids. Oh, fuck.
You are no different than Joe Schmo jorking it to fat booty Latinas in Space 12. You're sitting...
Yeah, yes, you are. Yes, you are. Because these women are, literally, some of these are bestiality. And look, fucking fat chicks is just a time-honored tradition.
Gross.
Even if it's in space.
There, all high and mighty, one hand on the book, acting like you're so superior because you can perfectly envision a horse spinning 360 degrees in your mind. I'm not impressed. The scenes these men are reading, to many people, myself included, are insanely sexy. But purely in terms of the acts being described, they aren't all that lurid. And as many of...
Having sex with a bull is not lurid. Is that where we are in society?
I just work here, dude. I'm just some hitchhiker you found on the side of the road on the way to this fiasco.
Look, if we were talking about 50 Shades, I would actually probably agree with this comment, but we're talking about demon and animal and apparently even vegetable porn. We're not talking about just sex. We're talking about some really nasty shit.
No, it's romantasy, monkey. It's not dirty.
It's okay to be like, yeah, that's gross. All right.
The comments on these videos point out, there's much wilder stuff out there. For example, these men have clearly not yet discovered nodding, a popular term in romanticism.
I know what nodding is. Oh, fuck.
Yeah, we're going there. Real quick, though, thank you, Evolved Potato. There are a lot of manga with what's called monster girls, but even with them, they're basically normal women with cosplay stuff added on. The Minotaur in manga is just a tall woman with massive tits, cow horns, and maybe a tail. Why do women want the animal? Because they're insane. That's why. See, when you have like cat girls, they're still primarily women with some cat-like features. It's like that throughout manga, and the Japanese are weird. When we dropped the nukes on them, we fucked them all up.
Yeah.
And it made them all a little depraved. Yeah, weird is the nice way of putting it, but the poor ones are depraved. So, yeah, I don't know why they have these fetish with the more animalistic side, but, I mean, Zeus used to turn into a bull for a reason.
Yep.
This stuff isn't new.
I do like that this lady writing this article thinks that men don't know what nodding is or couldn't figure it out. If you've ever had dogs who hump each other, you know what nodding is.
Yeah. Well, like AP just said, saying but it's not as bad as nodding in furries is a Chicago crime argument. Crime is down. Yeah, but it's still too high. Yeah, but it's down.
Yeah. All right.
Right now, that involves werewolves whose penises get so swollen after sex, they have to stay inside their partners until the swelling subsides. Oh, honey, that's not a popular trend in romantasy. That's just a thing real dogs do.
Yes, thank you. That's kind of the point here. There's worse stuff. You guys haven't even heard of nodding. One, men have heard of nodding. Okay? Even if we don't want to know what the fuck it is. But yeah, that's a real thing that happens. That is two dogs when they have sex. That's why they get stuck together.
Yeah. Say you've never been on a farm or near a dog park without saying that. Jeez. Monkey. We lost him again. Can't blame the Dukes for Japan's weirdness. That fisherman's wife has been dreaming about the octopus long before we introduced the second son to their shores. Yeah, but it just spread whatever that was. It just made it worse. Plus, it may have affected the timeline and gone back in time and fucked him up. I don't know. You back with us, Monk? We're not even halfway through this video yet. This is some dark shit. Do any of these fantasies involve cloaca? I don't know. There's a little something for everybody out there, so I'm sure if you looked hard enough, you can find it. First time you heard about the furries was that CSI episode? Really? The militarism suppressed the weirdness? Yeah, probably. Now they're going to the overboard, the extra, in the other direction. Megatron has fallen. Sauronry. I don't know why he's having internet problems, but his internet sucks. That's a good time to remind everybody to hit the like button, share it on your social media, because everybody needs to see this degenerate shit. Subscribe if you haven't. Oh, there you are. Missed you.
Yeah, my internet shit again. Because of course it
to shell.
I appreciate it. Let's see. Okay.
Give us all that money you didn't give Scribe.
Yeah. We're raising money for charity. The charity is Jack and Monkey.
Yeah. Best charity around.
All right.
You just don't get it. You don't know what knotting is. What are these women reading, bro? What happened to
I do love that that's an argument that she's making about the guys being apparently uppity, I suppose.
Yeah, you're such an elitist. You don't even discuss knotting. Do you even know how to play a grand piano?
Tansao, thank you. The Japanese were sort of always like that. Look up Dreams of the Fisherman's Wife. I'm going to pass on that. Just from, I don't know what it is, but the context leaves me with a no thanks. I feel like I'm not wrong on that.
It's a smart move, yeah.
Yeah. All right. I can kind of guess.
Yeah.
that like stupid fucking corny Hallmark thing, going home for Christmas to your hometown and falling in love with the cute farmer boy? What happened to that? We used to make fun of that. We truly did not know what we had until it was gone. Now women out here fantasizing about getting their asses clapped by demons and werewolves and goblins and ghouls. I remember when 50 Shades of Grey came out and people were like, oh my god, this is so crazy. Women are crazy. 50 Shades of Grey looks like missionary sex through a bedsheet for the sole purpose of procreation compared.
That's not what people were saying about 50 Shades. They said it was really badly written. It's not real BDSM. And it was just a woman fantasy that would never happen. Nobody was like, oh my God, I can't believe there's sex in this. And in fact, the biggest argument against it was this is supposed to be BDSM and it's actually just a really toxic relationship.
Yeah, it's just another abusive relationship like Twilight with lame attempts at normie ideas of what BDSM are.
Oh, sorry, Gigi. Let me refresh this. Or just go to the. My chat froze up, so I didn't see some stuff. Gigi, thank you. Wait, I got that one. I don't have another one from you. Can you see one in there, Jack?
Let me switch screens.
So I missed the no BS super.
Oh, that was a while ago. That was the first time your internet died, I think.
Oh, right there. I'm so sorry, Gigi. How much you want to bet this is no bullshit's latest grift to recruit the alt-right, covering commie women with a self-insert? Oh, I mean, if it works. I don't blame the author for this. I blame the people rubbing it out to it. Just saying.
compared to the average woman on TikTok is reading. At least Christian Grey was a human man and not a fucking dog. You fantasize about dating the quiet, shy, nerdy girl. You know, she's innocent, she's pure, she's not like those other girls, like going out clubbing and hooking up with random men. No, she's at home, curled up by the fire in a blanket, reading a book. Except that book is about f***ing a half man, half bull. Let me let you in on a little secret. The quiet, nerdy girl is way more of a freak than the average hoe. Are you kidding me? It's not even close.
That's why you should go for the nerdy girl.
Yeah. Because she'll want to do all sorts of freaky shit and not tell anyone about it because she's not a tramp.
And she's also you got the low maintenance thing going on there, much lower maintenance. And yeah, she's a freak.
Average hoe might have a body count of like 15 or so, but the quiet nerdy girl is fantasizing about getting back shots from Cthulhu. That is at least 100 bodies. Now listen, there's nothing inherently wrong with fantasizing, okay? There's nothing wrong with role play. You know, fiction is fiction, right? You know, you're not actually going to bang your...
Well...
That's not what the judge told me.
Apply that same logic, though, to like Lolly.
Yeah.
I mean, at some point, you do get to where like, maybe you shouldn't be fantasizing about having sex with animals.
Yeah, there's a degree of like what the fuckism that is required for some of this stuff.
Stepsister, right? These women are not actually going to bang a cow, or at least
no, they'd bang a bull. Duh.
At least I hope not. We all know there is a difference between fantasy and reality. Well, what happens when they try to bring fantasy into reality? Well,
that's how you get communist countries, lady.
Sinners and Stardust.
That music might get you hit, dude.
Yeah, probably, but she didn't get hit for it, so.
What in the eyes wide shut is going on here?
And for the record, that's not music, that's noise. Techno is shit, and I will stand by that. That is a hill I'm willing to die on.
Yeah, there's about 5 techno companies going, what?
Right?
How dare you?
Yeah, prove it's yours. You can't because it all sounds the same. Fuck off.
Sinners and Stardust was supposed to be a dark romance ball for romantasy authors and fans alike. So what's the big deal? Seems like a fun, sexy time, right?
No, that sounds horrible.
That sounds like a lot of fat people sweating in a room.
That sounds like the makings of a criminal complaint, if I'm being honest.
At least one, and you know those buff dudes that were dancing around there, they probably got touched inappropriately so many times they're all damaged now.
Maybe, if you're a woman. If you're a man, the night may have gone a little differently for you. Alright y'all, it appears I have to make a post that I'm frankly pretty goddamn upset I have to make. This post is for the readers who don't understand consent and boundaries only. A lot of you may know-
I'm guessing this is one of the authors. You're writing books about horrible shit, and you got a bunch of horny ladies there.
Bunch of horny wine ants that haven't been touched by a man in decades. And they're seeing a bunch of muscular dudes, and they're, of course, going to go grind their meaty flaps on them. Ugh.
Oh, my good friend Animus. He's attended a signing of mine in the past and obviously is a musical artist. This past weekend, he attended Sinners and Stardust and probably had one of the most heartbreaking experiences. So listen, he's a man, right? But do we think that means it's okay to put your hands all over him without consent?
Apparently.
Are you paying attention to the audience that you're writing for? These are not stable women.
What? You're telling me those women we saw a minute ago on the TikToks, well, it was like an hour ago, they are not stable?
No,
Monkey, how dare you?
These are dirty freaks.
Yeah, well, they're fat, lonely, repressed weirdos.
This should have been called Daddy Issue Con.
Or to put your hands in his waistband or down his pants.
Yeah.
touch his dick? Hello? Do we think it's okay to quite literally back him into a corner and touch all over him to the point that he literally cannot tell how many hands are on him and whose are whose? Do we think it's okay to send...
I hate to blame the victims here, but what the fuck did you think was going to happen?
Yeah, unless they didn't explain to these guys what kind of convention this was, you kind of should have done your research.
They wrote books for these people. This is like complaining that you had like J.K. Rowling went to a Harry Potter thing and everybody had wands.
Oh no, this dude, the person complaining is the musician guy that got groped.
No,
not
the musician guy is his friend. His friend is the one that got groped.
Yeah, the musician.
Yeah. And he's gone with him to these before. He knows what it is. He knows what his friend wrote books about, I'm assuming.
I would hope.
It's not like he was told, hey, we're going to Comic-Con, and they showed up and there's fat chicks dressed in leather.
Oh, what a deception. If somebody did that to me, they might get stabbed.
him into an actual panic attack because of this? Furthermore, do we think it's okay to interrogate him and insist he detail how he'd kidnap a woman, despite him repeatedly saying he wouldn't do that and, you know, that shit is fiction, and then attempt to follow him when he tries to get away? And if that wasn't enough, during the time of this mob, him and another author received notification that an air tag was tracking him, which showed on his person all the way to his hotel room.
Jesus Christ.
They're women. I'm sorry. Women are crazy.
Did nobody ever see Fatal Attraction in the last 30 years? Because a single white female, at least? Because this is what you should have been prepared for.
They molested this guy until he passed out from anxiety. And then they put a f***ing tracker on him in order to stalk him back to his hotel. This poor guy dressed like a character in one of the romantasy books at this romantasy convention.
See, this is what I'm talking about. He was dressed up like that. He knew what this was.
Oh, so he was asking for it, monkey. I see what you're saying.
Full of women. That is like throwing roast beef into a pit of wolves. Or in this case, throwing a wolf into a pit of roast beef.
No, it's a bunch of piggies. Come on.
I have no problem with her roast beef there. That's
Yeah. Look, I think if you went to one of these conventions, there would be one person that looked vaguely like Shoe, you know, moderately attractive. She would be the hotel manager trying to evict all of these freaks.
Well, we saw with the TikTok videos that she watched. I mean, there was one who was actually a very attractive young woman.
I just saw
who was
fat chicks.
Clearly touched by several of her uncles.
Yeah.
All of the other ones were fat chicks.
They're all fat.
Dude, no. Were you not paying attention to the screen? Let's see where it are you gonna make me bring that bitch back up on the screen? Where was she going through the different tickety talks? Fuck, I can't find it. Somebody find me the exact
fat chick.
No, it wasn't a fat chick. It was her right there. That chick is not fat.
She's got a gut.
She does not. You can see her stomach right there.
Look at the size of her tits. That chick's got a gut that those titties
she
are
does not.
From.
You are so full of shit.
She's got a big forehead too.
Your big forehead ain't fat.
She's got a bunch of filters on, hiding all that flab she's got going on.
What timestamp did I say? I don't remember now. Oh, it's got to be right around here because there's the complaint. Okay.
To his hotel. This poor guy dressed like a character in one of the romantasy books at this romantasy convention full of women. That is like throwing roast beef into a pit of wolves. Or in this case, throwing a wolf into a pit of roast beef. I remember years ago, there was this thing called cosplay is not consent. Basically, it was a campaign to bring attention to the fact that people at conventions would often come up to women dressed in sexy costumes and just grope and grab them without their consent. Yeah, apparently we have to bring that back because...
Which again, yeah, there's actually not a lot of evidence of that.
No, it may have happened once or twice by like some special needs kid, but that shit did not happen. It was a made up bunch of nonsense. There have been women at conventions for decades.
Yeah.
Especially dressed up like characters and dressed up sexy. Yeah, some guys will want to like get close to them and be creepy weirdos, but they wouldn't touch them. You know why? Because male nerds are terrified of vagina.
Yes.
They're like, I don't know what to do around this pretty girl. I'm gonna just be awkward and weird and tell her about my D&D character for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
These women did not get the memo. I've been a furry for over a decade and attended a lot of fur cons. Sure, sometimes weird shit happens, but honestly, I can't believe the dark romance crowd is out here acting like this. Like,
why not? Why is that surprising to you? This is like finding out Vosh went to a Chuck E. Cheese and touched a kid.
Yeah.
Why would you be surprised by this? We've seen what turns them on, and it's not consent, Jack.
Yeah.
For all of their talk about consent, there are no books like Consent So Sexy. You know what I mean? Anyhow.
Oh, but first, I gotta correct something. The cosplay does not equal consent thing was originally started, by the way, for those that don't know, behind the scenes info, because a lot of the cosplayers were getting their picture taken without getting like $5 or $20, whatever they were charging.
Yeah.
So that's what it was really about, was they wanted to get paid to get their picture taken. It wasn't about people fondling them. That was added on later.
These are women who brag about the bestiality porn that they enjoy. And you thought that they would behave themselves at a sex party for the freaks.
Yeah, did you really think these heifers have that kind of social skills? Come on, dude.
And my buddies in our fursuits are more respecting of consent and bodily autonomy. Get your shit together, y'all. When the furries are calling you out for being freaks, you need to reflect. Something has gone horribly wrong.
I don't think the furries can really talk. I mean, how different is that? You dress up like a dog and hump somebody else dressed up like a dog. How is that much different from what we just described?
Yeah, the furries are kind of weird. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Sorry, furries. You're weird.
If you just like dressing up like an animal in your spare time, fine. Get a job as a mascot and you'll be fine. But when we talk about furries, typically we're talking about the ones who take it to the sexual place, and that's fucking weird.
Yeah, it's just
keep it to yourself.
Yeah, keep your degeneracies to yourself, like a grown-up.
Tyra asked what you walked into. The magic milking, what's it called? I don't even remember. It's the trend of women on TikTok really into bestiality porn.
Yeah, it's the degeneracy of book talk.
Not only were the men at this book talk convention assaulted, but women were also assaulted by women. Multiple women, including a performer, reported being assaulted there as well. Even an author there said she was groped and dragged away from her friends and said no matter how many times she said no, quote, "My words did nothing." May I remind you, this is a book convention.
Teach girls not to rape.
Yeah. What are you at a teacher convention?
Quote, "My words did nothing." May I remind you, this is a book convention, okay?
Except it's not. It's a freak convention.
Yeah. Just because they have books, they're there for the eroticism of it all. The sexual degeneracy.
For books, literal BDSM clubs are more respectful than this. There needs to be
that's because those are for whatever you think of BDSM, I think it's weird. I don't like pain. It angers me. But that is a consent community. They have like whole the contract thing in that stupid ass book movie 50 Shades. That's a real thing that they do.
Yeah, safe words and you don't take it to an extreme unless you're a psychopath.
Well, in that community, you have to trust.
Yeah, it's about trust. And,
That is a community of trust. This is a community of freaks who get off to bestiality.
Yeah, a little bit.
And that's a whole different thing.
More studies on how this stuff affects women's brains, because clearly some are unable to tell the difference between fantasy and reality.
The rise of this stuff also comes with the decline in fathers.
What? That's crazy talk, monkey.
And the rise of women can do whatever they want to, and you can't judge them. How dare you?
Evie Lipton, a doctoral candidate in human sexuality, actually wrote about this for Evie magazine. I don't know what a doctoral candidate in human sexuality is, but she's hot, so
She is hot. I ain't gonna lie, and she got some big old boobies. It's just a sex researcher. These are people who write a thesis. Why sticking your finger in an anus is the best way to show your true love. If you've ever,
you got to fight the patriarchy with anal play.
I mean, these are people who literally study the works of people like Masters and Johnson and Kinsey and Money. It shouldn't actually be a field of research. It's fucking mostly just degeneracy.
Yeah, it's fetish stuff.
Yeah. Now we did Masters and Johnson probably really shouldn't have been put in with Money and Kinsley, because they were, at least for the most part, trying to do real study on this kind of stuff. But it is a nonsense field, and it is mostly just freaks trying to excuse their freakdom.
Yeah. Justification.
Yeah.
I trust her. Your brain on orgasms isn't neutral. Dopamine release during climax is a powerful conditioning agent. What you repeatedly fantasize about becomes necessary for arousal. If you're
here's a true thing that you can do. Women can be, I hate to say it this way, but can be taught to have an orgasm to sound. That's a real thing. You can look it up. Yeah, and women, you can try it yourselves. If you're playing the same sound as you're climaxing, your body will have that reaction. They haven't been able to do it in men, at least last I knew. But with women, it can be done.
Your erotic imagination centers around abuse, monstrous violence, and submission to non-human entities. Your brain is reprogramming itself to crave just that. It's not empowerment, it's neuroplasticity at its darkest. Scientists, psychologists, and the general public often state that men are visual and women are emotional. When it comes to sex, men can be turned...
That's not a fair thing, because when you say the visual, you're usually talking about arousal. And for women, I wouldn't say women are emotional for arousal. I would say they are more auditory for arousal, or in this case, reading. They're more word focused, not necessarily emotional. There's nothing emotional about jacking off a cow. Tansu, thank you. That reminds me, I saw Jim react to a documentary on people who love horses, and guess who showed up? John Money. Yeah, John Money was a sick piece of shit.
On instantly by a sexual image despite their mood, and women need to be turned on emotionally to get in the mood. So it stands to reason that porn for men is visual and porn for women is in the mind. I'm not equating porn to smut novels, because one is a video of two people actually having real sex, and the other is, well, just words on paper.
Men, again, Penthouse Forum. Women don't have a monopoly on... Men can get turned on by a wind blowing, okay?
I feel a little judged. I had to step away for a second. I wanted to point this out. I just scared the bejesus out of an Amazon driver.
Why is there an Amazon driver at 5 a.m?
I don't know, but she was delivering a package. I ordered some cat food, and it showed up at 5 a.m, 5:09, 5:10, whatever it was a few minutes ago. But it set off the security alarm. That's why I had to step away. And I opened the door right as she got to the porch, and she just like, ah!
Bearded Bushy asks, isn't John Money a well-known pedo? Not exactly. I would say yes. Money is most known for his experiment on twin boys who one of them had a botched circumcision. And so he convinced the parents to transition the one twin into a girl, had the children simulate sex acts on each other, and tried to use his nonsensical studies to make transgenderism a thing through kids, mind you. And one of those, didn't both of those boys kill themselves? I know one of them did.
Yeah, they're both dead. I think one died from something else, and one killed himself. I don't know.
Yeah. John Money is a nasty piece of shit, and he is the father of modern day transgenderism.
Yeah, he's degenerate.
Yeah.
Remember the Nazis where they did their big book burning? That was at a transgender clinic. So,
yeah, not all book burning is bad.
I'm, however, talking about the effect on the consumer. We know watching porn is bad for the brain. That's been proven and only rejected by gooners who don't want to give it up. But is reading smut bad? You might say, duh, that's the whole point. Okay, fair enough. So let me rephrase. Is reading smut harmful? Should we shame people for things that are wrong, immoral, or harmful?
Yes.
In my line of work, I've been told many times that shame has no place in sex.
Shame has a lot of place in sex. If you're done with your partner for that sexual encounter and you can look each other in the eye without, judging the other person, then you didn't do it right.
Yeah, you just end it by not looking at them and saying that the money's on the nightstand. Right?
Nobody ever, after you're done having sex, you go about the rest of your life like you didn't just do that. Nobody's like, so let's talk about what we just did. You know what I mean?
Let's analyze this to see how we can do it better.
Let's think about that. All right, anyway.
But if I use my brain for 2 seconds, it's clear.
What was that?
I hold up number cards. Like that one was a 7.
Been told many times that shame has no place in sex. But if I use my brain for 2 seconds, it's clear that line of thinking is nonsense. Incest should be shamed, bestiality should be shamed, pedophilia should be shamed. I'm not equating monster smut with these things.
Why not?
Yeah, I think that's it's okay to shame people.
Why wouldn't you consider monster porn to be bestiality?
Because they have human parts. That's how people justify it.
But there are 50 shades of gray, so to speak, along the spectrum of harmful. Conditioning your brain and body to associate pleasure with monsters, slavery, or sexual violence is not healthy. Basically, they're cooked. Like, women are cooked. They are frying their brains with this stuff. It's a pipe.
I mean, we've seen that before with the actual romance genre, not the porn part, but where everything is flowery and the guy is like basically a woman in a man's big, strong body, and no man can live up to the fantasy put through it.
Yeah.
And those women end up with lots of house cats and no children.
Yeah, they're box wine and sadness.
Yeah.
Pipeline, right? It's like the infamous evil alt-right pipeline. You start watching Shoe0nHead owning the feminists in 2015, and then in 2025 you're hailing Hitler, right? The alt-right pipeline. And this one's like you're reading Morning Glory Milking Farm, and the next thing you know, you're Mrs. Hands, right? Just say no. Just say no to monster porn. But why is monster smut so popular with women in particular? Like, you rarely...
Because they don't have dads anymore.
You mean patriarchy?
Yeah.
See the opposite, and when you do, it's just like a girl with cat ears and fangs, or like a 10-foot-tall dommy-mommy vampire with giant titties. Meanwhile, women are like, I want to f the pollution monster from Fern Gully. So people on Reddit asked this very...
Oh, shit. This is why I watch Shoe. She actually is very clever. All right.
Question. Let's see the responses. Why do you guys like monster romances? Asking for a friend. Several reasons. One, human men are quite often terrible.
I knew that was going to be part of it. It had to be. This is
yeah, that's a given, dude.
But
Men are bad, Kai.
I mean, she made the joke earlier about this is why they, or maybe it was somebody wrote it in the, I forget where it came up, but this is why they chose the bear.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you're out there teaching that men are absolutely horrible, there's no redeeming men. We saw that one chick not long ago. There's no good man in her life. Not her dad, not her brothers, not her in-laws, nobody. They all men suck.
Yeah.
Well, if all men suck, you have two choices at that point: women or finding something else with a dong.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Romance books with human men are already partly fantasy, but Monsters just takes the fantasy bit further.
Well, it used to be that monsters in this kind of genre would be like vampires, who are technically monsters but have human form.
Yeah, or various forms of undead things that weren't, or cryptids, that sort of thing. Not necessarily like Mothman was banging me with his moth wiener. What?
Well,
what?
Werewolves, they've long had romances about werewolves, but it didn't used to be that you waited to the full moon to bang him.
Yeah. Usually you went for the human form, not the monster form.
Two, it's sort of human nature to imagine relationships with paranormal beings and creatures.
What?
Gnome sex, dwarves, fairy folk, centaurs, I guess. I don't know. That's a little crossing the line for me, but
I want to let her finish reading this part.
We've been doing it in literature and art for centuries. It's just gotten a lot more graphic now, lol.
Okay, it may have been written about for centuries, but that would be the weird artists who wrote that shit and put it into everybody's mind. It's not like when the Greeks are coming up with Zeus, everybody was sitting around thinking about banging bulls.
I don't know what women did back then, so
I'm fairly positive they weren't having bovine sex.
You don't know. Monkey's making assumptions again, you guys.
That doesn't start until Caligula.
Yeah, Greek chicks are weird, so.
My nipple's oddly hard.
What?
It's cold in here.
Oh, I was going to say, there better be context to that statement.
But I was wearing my Snuggie, and it had come down on the right side or the left side, and so that nipple was cold, and the other one is nice and flaccid. Is that the word for a non-hard? I have a flaccid nipple, y'all.
I don't think that's the phraseology. But yeah, Monkey's already writing his erotica novel, guys.
No, I just moved the Snuggie off of me, and when I moved my arm back, it hit my nipple, and I was like, "Why is my nipple hard?"
Slowly, he raised his Snuggie to cover his exposed pectoral muscle and his erect nipple.
What is the term for a flaccid nipple?
I think it's just nipple.
No, there's got to be an actual term.
No, I mean there's only like nipple and then hard nipple. I don't think there's a soft nipple terminology.
No. Okay, I gotta Google this shit now.
Be sure and hit the like button and give us money because this is quality fucking content. As we both race to Google to see what we can come up with.
What is the medical term for a soft nipple? There is no single term for a soft nipple. Oh, elastic nipple, inverted or retracted nipple. No. Soft fibroma, in rare cases, a soft tissue growth. No, I'm not talking about growths on my nipple.
Yeah, it's just normal state, dude. Inverted is different, flat's different, erect is different. Although if you apparently have inverted nipples, you're supposed to see a doctor.
Elastic nipple. This describes nipples that are extra soft and stretchy, pulling
like
deeper.
Plastic Man's nipples.
Pulling deeper into a pump flange or a baby's mouth during feeding.
You know, if I were Plastic Man, I would poke someone's eyes out with my nipples because nobody's going to tell the cops you did that.
I think there needs to be a negative $5 super chat. Stop it. I think there needs to be a term. I like flaccid nipple, and that's what I'm going with.
I mean, that should be the title of your first book, Flaccid Nipple.
Flaccid nipples in the Garden of Satan.
Areola 51.
Seriously,
mistakes
guys,
were made.
This is the kind of shit that keeps me from getting ahead in life.
What are
Because
you
not only
talking
do I
about?
have these thoughts, I put them out into the world.
We're professionals, guys. People pay us
Yeah.
money for this sometimes.
Well, 3. Unique body forms / parts and so many different kinds of dicks. Scary, mean, terrifying creature, is sweet to her, kind, takes care of her, protects her, works hard to be gentle, etc.
But you can do that with humans. Jack, you've seen Disney's Beauty and the Beast, right?
I have many years ago, but I have seen it a few times.
Belle does fall in love with him in the beast form, but they don't consummate the relationship until, after he turns back into a human.
We don't know that. She might have been getting the prone bone from him while he's in werewolf mode or whatever he is.
Oh, God.
Maximal escapism, minimal association to real-life assholes, the patriarchy, misogyny, and oppression of women, etc., etc. Because the monsters...
Yeah, because the animal world doesn't engage in patriarchy.
No, not at all. That's a social construct, monkey.
Fuck right off. God, women are dumb. Not all. These ones
are less dangerous than dating actual men. As a fat woman of color...
That says it all right there. You could have stopped after woman. You didn't need the of color there.
Modern, contemporary, and even fantasy romances are hard to click to because they are almost always about thin white women and just too realistic.
I'm gonna write fat romance. Fat bestiality romance.
No, it's fat. It'd be plus size romantasy.
Plus size romantasy. I'm gonna write that shit.
Yeah.
What should her name be?
Bestiality.
I feel like her name should be like Cleo or something.
Chloe.
Chloe, that would work.
Yeah, Chloe's always a winner.
No, her name's gonna be
Chandra.
Elizabeth, but she's always been called Bessie.
Well, you got to come up with something that's borderline drag, but not quite. Like Violet. So you have to come up with something like that. That's an odd name, but also kind of exotic sounding.
Apple.
Yeah, Apple or Chandra.
Ooh, the forbidden apple.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, I'm on it. I'm on it.
Plucking the forbidden apple.
Yes.
And it's about her losing her virginity to like werewolves from outer space or some shit.
Werewolves from Outer Space sounds like a good B movie.
I'd watch it.
Okay. Orange? No, because see, that would remind people of Trump, and you can't do that because he's a feminist.
Yeah, you could go with like teal.
Teal would work, yeah. Chartreuse, if I could spell it.
Yeah. Well, you can
Yeah.
spell it however you fucking want. There's no rules to this nonsense. What are you talking about? Oh, I gotta spell things accurately. Fuck off.
I'm getting all Shakespearean up in here.
Yeah, you try to make this into Wordsworth, and it's not. This is some gutter trash.
And romance in real life is not always attainable for fat women / women of color. In monster alien romance,
Women of color can't get romance.
Well, look, there's Afrofuturism. So you could have some Afrofuturism plus sized romantasy.
Man, don't be shaming me with your spelling ability.
Yeah, show off. Francesca.
my son.
Although I will say, if you spelled chartreuse without using spell check, good on you.
Right? Yeah, I'm impressed that it stopped showing off.
Yeah.
size doesn't matter, and it's easier to get into that headspace and enjoy it. I'm sick of the men on Earth and looking for some variety. Non-humans haven't betrayed and hurt me, so they feel
Because they're not real.
Well, I mean, it depends how delusional you are.
Okay.
like a safe haven, if that makes sense. Plus the unusual dick. Monsters have big, fun-shaped cocks.
What shape should my monster's wiener be?
Just describe it as fun-sized. He pulled his eggplant-shaped wiener out, but it was so fun-sized.
He's gonna be an Irish werewolf, so it'll be shaped like a 4-leaf clover.
Then you could use the phrase "he whipped out his shillelagh."
Yes, and since it'll be Irish, I can spell it however I want.
He reached her magical Blarney stone, which would be her G-spot or clit, depending on how you want to do it.
This fixes my spelling problem because I can just say, no, that's how the Irish spell it.
Yeah, that's the Gaelic translation.
Yeah. Like, how do you spell John? SRTLMJ. Huh?
Add some phlegm sounds in there, you're all set.
All right.
Love some bizarre peen. Unique.
Have you ever seen a bizarre peen? I have.
Unfortunately, yes, and it's terrifying.
No, nobody wants to see that.
No, nobody wants to look at your weird, retarded genitals. Okay,
Mike Savage says that's correct, monkey. See, I can spell in Irish.
Right?
Genitalia. I don't know what I was expecting, honestly.
Seriously, I'm not being gross here at all, but just for research, you really should look up odd genitals. It will change your life.
It will haunt your dreams and waking moments with PTSD flashbacks.
Yeah.
I recommend against it.
That one, and I wish I could remember the name of the condition, but the vagina without a hole.
God, yeah, that's horrible.
And it was hairy, and it was really dark black hair.
Yeah.
So it looks like a weird, large eyeball with no eyeball in it.
These things will haunt your nightmares and make you envision all sorts of Freddy Krueger-like nightmares. Don't do it, guys.
It's the whole unique genitals. I guess I could kind of get it if what she was going for with unique is like much larger than human size.
With like Klingon like ridges or something.
Yeah, but unique genitals in real life, go look them up. They're not, and that goes for men and women. They are not something you want to masturbate to.
No, it's if you're jerking it to that, get some fucking help, professional help. You're messed up.
I just love Shoe's face as we're having this part of the conversation.
Yeah, I do feel a little judged.
As well, we should be. And in all seriousness, when I saw those things, I was doing research, Jack, for a video that was on intersex. And I was looking up some article that had a link to intersex conditions, and I didn't know what they were. So I looked them up, and I didn't have safe search on, and I saw some things I can't unsee.
Mistakes were made.
Mistakes were definitely made that day. And that vagina haunts me. It really does. It's like the all-seeing eye of Sauron.
Yeah, I used to visit something awful on a pretty regular basis.
Oh, God, yes.
Back when I was in college, I'd go to the computer lab and just fucking surf something awful. And you would see horrific shit. And at some point, you're like, oh, my God, I need to walk away. This is like you'd start out with something innocent, like a meme or a silly joke. And the next thing you know, there's a terrifying wiener on your screen. And you're like, oh, I'm done.
Buy Lady Monkey an expensive piece of jewelry. Just don't tell her how you earned the money.
A lot of women's smut, especially monster smut, is about submission, domination, forced breeding, non-consensual consent. The women are like conquered and taken and
Yeah, this is what I don't get about it. And with feminists, because these are feminist people we're talking about here, and their porn is all about being dominated.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a very popular theme in women's lit.
Yeah.
The whole thing of like they fall in love with their captors. It's like some Stockholm Patty Hearst shit. But yeah, the getting taken, it's just a polite way of saying non-consensual sex, or as the other kids would call it, rape.
It's not even non-consensual. By today's standards, it's non-consensual. He didn't stop and ask permission all along the way. He just consent. She was into it. He was into it. So he takes charge.
Yeah, but that's considered rape these days.
Yeah.
Look at poor Aziza Ansari.
Yeah.
That section she read earlier from the book reminded me a lot of that, like the whole consent thing.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, yeah, that sounds a lot like the Aziza Ansari thing, where he's like, oh, well, if it's too far, I'll let you go. It's cool.
They do like The Handmaid's Tale, yes.
Yeah. Oh, they have a fetish for the fucking Handmaid's Tale. Oh, you're gonna enslave me and forcibly breed me, right? Oh, flick my bean. Oh, shut up.
And it's the whole domination. It's just women being women. I mean, if you go back through history, the books have always been about that. The man taking charge. His rough hands grabbed her, pulled her in for a kiss. I won't do that again, I promise.
Yeah, I think you improvised a little at the end there.
Okay, I shouldn't promise that because I might go again, which I just did. I kind of like that sound now.
I feel bad for your daughter if she is listening to this mess.
But I brought this up before. Back in the day, for those of you who don't remember, they used to have things called soap operas. And there was a huge thing about a storyline on a soap opera that was covered by news every night. It was Luke and Laura and their magical wedding and everything. And their relationship started out when he raped her.
Yeah.
And that became a romance story so big that it was talked about on the news.
Yeah, even Shoe is shocked. Look at her right there.
Right?
What?
Anyway.
Overpowered by these monsters. And I think many of these women are reading these books containing monsters and not men because masculinity and dominance in men has been completely demonized in modern.
True. Yes. When you can't fantasize to men because they're the worst thing ever, then you turn to literal demons.
Yeah.
It is the literary equivalent of I'd rather be in the woods with a bear.
Yeah. Yeah. Your pause game with her faces could like just signal people how you feel for any situation. Just like, oh, what? I mean, she looks surprised half the time.
It's another thing I like about Shoe is she is very expressive. Oh, excuse me. I would think she was a theater kid.
Modern society. But the truth is, many women still crave it. You see, the monster.
Yeah, that's an open secret too. The women just won't admit that that's what they still crave. Hey, Shoe, I don't know if you're still watching by now, but
I'm sorry if you are.
Were you a theater kid?
In these stories have those like dominant masculine traits that women like so much, but they're not human men. They have all these traits women desire without the problematic baggage human men bring, without being the men they hate or have been told to hate. It is the perfect guilt-free slop, but they don't.
Can you imagine if like the biggest trend in men porn was some guy banging a cow?
That would be considered disturbing and wrong.
Yeah.
Look, I mean, who wants to fucking Antifa chick?
There's a lot of weird stuff in men's porn, but bestiality at least is still frowned upon.
Yeah. It's mostly like banging sluts in a bathroom or something like that. Stuff you actually want to do because you get gotta sniff AIDS.
Blue Eyed said it's kind of like the bad boy is bad to everyone but you. The reality, though, of the bad boy is that if you pay attention, he's just as bad to you. He's just nice when he wants to get laid.
Yeah.
Don't just want a wild dominant man. They want to tame a wild dominant man. Similar to when a man sees an
No, okay, I hear what you're saying, but I wouldn't say tame. They want him to. Her vagina is just so good it tames him. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
she soothes the savage beast
with her cooter.
With her cooter. Why do you have the nose ring back in, Shoe? I should have made this the thumbnail.
I want somebody to clip me saying with this image on the screen, just cut us out and just have it go cooter,
cooter,
cooter, and try and make it in Shoe's voice. It'd be hilarious.
art hoe with a nose ring, you can save her from her daddy issues. You can do it. It definitely won't backfire and ruin your life. Go for it. Go talk to her. With many women, there's this desire for like danger and aggression, but also the desire to tame that danger and aggression. The desire to be that special woman who can melt his heart. You see, my dragon boyfriend could rip me to shreds and kill me instantly, but he won't because he's nice and he loves me. But honestly,
I mean, accidentally they've made a good allegory for the women who go for the bad boy type, honestly. Except for in real life, the dragon does rip you to shreds.
Yeah. And then hump your dead body.
Yep.
at the end of the day, just like the video I made about the anime girl in a wheelchair, where men were saying, this is the average male fantasy, and a bunch of women were like, you want to rape a disabled girl? When in reality, it was just a distilled manifestation of the average male fantasy, which is to protect and provide for a sweet woman. And
to be loved by her.
Yeah. Appreciated for what you do.
Save her. This is like basically the flip of that, right? This is just the distilled manifestation of the female fantasy. Men are seeing—
No, that is the unfortunate consequence of feminism.
Yeah. That they have to go to this kind of lengths to just have a masculine character.
Yep. Men are so evil, what I need to do is masturbate to demons and animals. Sure, why not?
This, and they're saying, what do you mean you want to milk a minotaur? When in reality, it's just to have a big, strong protector and provider swoop you up and save you. And like I said in that video, they're basically both the same fantasy. This is a tale as old as time, the princess being saved from the dragon by a knight in shining armor, whether the dragon be a wheelchair or student loans, you know?
I hear you, but in this one, it's a cow.
No, it's a bull, Mikey. Minotaur. A minotaur that will pay off her student loans through handies.
I got to work student loans into my story, don't I?
Yes. Yes. She's got to pay her student loans.
Oh, I got it. She has student loans, and a man promises to take care of it for her, but he double crosses her and somehow gives her his student loans too. And now he's responsible for both.
Oh, he probably works for an evil corporation too.
And Beelzebub, in the form of a goat donkey, comes up to save her. That is a winner.
I don't think you can spell Beelzebub. You're gonna have to go with a easier to spell name.
Beelzebub. I just did it.
I don't think that's how that works.
I win again. I'm undefeated. Tell me I didn't spell. Did I spell? Did I spell?
How many times do you want to type that name?
Did I? Well,
I did not spell. You spelled part of it.
That is what AI is for. That's what search and replace is for. I will, in the story as I'm writing it, I'll just name CV, and then when it's time to put Beelzebub in there, I will just search and replace CV. If you want to know the
That's
easiest way to
extra
do something,
special lazy.
ask
I'm
your
so proud
laziest
of you right
friend.
now.
I know, right? See, I'm good.
But in this case, the woman is being f***ed by the dragon, and the knight sits in the corner and watches or something. I don't know. Maybe it's not that deep. There are some hungers better starved than fed. And maybe as women, for the sake of society, we have to starve our hunger for Minotaur p***ness. Yeah, that's the moral of this video. So what do you guys think? What is...
God damn it. I should have expected that at some point in the video.
Look, it needs to have a bunch of udders on it, but I find it funny.
Fuck. Shoe, that was hilarious. Well done. Again.
Your theory. Why is the monster romance genre so popular with women in particular? And who is your weirdest hear me out? Be honest. I don't want to hear no Lola Bunny, okay? You all know mine already. It's not that he's a fish, okay? He has an energy, okay? He has a vibe.
He has a long snout. Don't lie.
Yeah.
And it'll smell the same.
Vibe. You know what? Never mind. And I will see you guys again really soon with a new video. Bye!
Okay, your weirdest hear me out. I don't have one. I like beautiful women.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose some K-pop girls would probably be the weirdest I got.
I mean, you and I have disagreed on what a beautiful woman is exactly, but
yeah, I'm right.
We've always been talking about women.
Yeah, like real women, not you know, weird anamorphic. Like
No.
I've never walked into Chuck E. Cheese and got aroused by the animatronics. You know, that's fucked up.
Yeah, and Lola Bunny. Really? Are some of you freaks out there spanking the monkey to Lola Bunny? What's wrong with you? But as for what the cause is, the simple answer is that men have been so demonized that these women actually think, you know, having sex with a demon would be better. That's just the reality.
We live in dark times, man.
Yeah. These are broken women who've been sold a lie by retards.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're not helping themselves by putting their nonsense out on TikTok either. You know, frumpalicious.
Lola with a bunch of weird makeup can look okay. Stop it. That you put way too much thought into it. No, I mean, when the whole bear thing came up, I talked with my wife about it, and she was like, doesn't it say something that women would say that though? Because that's the woman answer right there. Rather than admitting that, no, you're actually much safer with men, you know, because like they can build shelters and fire and, you know, no basic survival. Where the bear, especially if it's your time of the month, is just going to kill you. And they thought about,
yeah,
doesn't it say something? Yeah, it says they've been lied to about how bad men are.
Yeah, it says feminism has been selling women a bill of dangerous goods for generations.
Mm-hmm. In that story that we just watched, a man and at least one woman were sexually assaulted, and it wasn't by men. But we even had the whole feminist push of teach men not to rape, as though we're all just sitting around going, I really want to rape, but thank God I was taught not to.
Yeah. Well, apparently women need to be taught that based on the number of women sex offenders in schools.
Yeah. But the idea is that men are pre-programmed to rape.
Yeah.
And they put that thought out there, and that went viral across all media. Anyway.
Fucked up.
God, I wish I didn't know that was a thing. It's another one of those moments where I was like, fuck, what did I do? I'm never gonna unlearn that there's a very popular book about women beating off animals.
That's a bestseller, monkey.
If you masturbate a chicken, can you call it choking the chicken?
It depends if you're actually choking the chicken. Like, is it into asphyxiation?
But what if no, all you're doing is, milking it. Can you say you're choking the chicken's chicken?
Well, no, that chickens are all female. Roosters are men.
If I touch myself, am I spanking the monkey's monkey?
Maybe. That's some Inception shit. I don't know.
Right?
I need a graph for that. That's like time dilation, quantum physics stuff.
I might have been up for too long.
Nah, I think it's about right.
Guys, we're wrapping up there. Thank you for coming and hanging out with us. Thank you so much for the donations, and a special shout out to Shoe. Thank you for making my job easy again. I do appreciate it. Make more videos so I can be lazy more often.
Yeah. Lazy content is good content.
Go check out the video uncut and watch her ad, because I really do enjoy Shoe's content. And unlike so many lefties, Jack, like when Charlie Kirk got killed, she's just like, no, this is wrong.
Yeah.
So while I disagree with her communism stuff, she is still naive enough to think that could work. She's not the crazy that the others are, and I think we should celebrate that when you do run into it.
Yeah, it's rare. It's very rare.
Jack, anything else chill out?
I'll drop a couple links to some cool videos. As always, thank you guys so much for the tips. It's greatly appreciated. Thanks for supporting us and listening to whatever the fuck this mess was. You guys are awesome.
I guess I'll rewind to the beginning. Did you not get enough animal sex just from what you did see? Enjoyed the stream. Thanks for watching. Seriously, we mean that. Jack, a pleasure as always, my friend.
Always glad to be here.
Everybody, take care of yourselves. We love you. We'll see you on the next one. Bye now.
Bye, everybody.
Don't jack off a bull for sexual arousement. That's weird. And if you need to be told that, you should probably be in an asylum. Why do we have to tell people that?
I don't know.